is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo. That is the Triple OG. Willie Mason. Nice North Face vest too, by the way. And the bro, Lukey Stowe. Boys, let's get straight into it. We're not going to stuff around this time. I want to give our man Lukey a shout out straight away. Pardon me, there's the cough. That was annoying for everyone on Wednesday night last week. Got a message. Yeah, there was I was awful, mate. I had such a bad sort of cough and chest with the lav mics. You can't go away from the mics.
Yeah, there was some throaty ones I had to cut out.
Oh, heavy throaties.
That was a tough edit.
Well, shout out and a bit of recognition from Jack Johns of the Backstage with Cooper and Matty Johns fame. Lukey boy working overtime, lads. That is after our podcast on Wednesday night. And Lukey replied, and he was uploading the episode from Truth Nightclub with you.
He was
outside.
He goes, he tried to come in and go, who the fuck is this? And they go, he's got his computer and shit, and we're in the fucking room. And he's like, yeah, get him in. He's finishing.
He's like, why have you got a laptop on the dance floor?
Because there was no phones and everything like that. He goes, no, I'm with Mason. I said, yeah, sweet.
That's dedication.
It was fucking good.
And this is now a team chat, and we'll do this with our listeners.
It's fucking hilarious.
And we haven't discussed this beforehand. As much as I guess the fans appreciate it and people love getting our reactions, I didn't really. After sort of watching it back and watching the game back, we're not going to do that.
No, don't do it. It's like I told you.
You're too busy.
No, but I'm way too busy. I watched the game the next day, the whole game. Totally different fucking view of it.
Yeah.
It was one of the fucking hardest games I've ever seen. It was brutal from minute 1 to minute fucking 80. Obviously, the 8 penalties didn't help. Mm-hmm. And crucial, just like we got a little bit of a rub of the green in the first one, but we just everyone's thinking that we're whinging. Like, it's only what I saw. It looked pretty shit. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like 8 penalties is a little bit much.
And that's why I try and label it initial reaction as well. I try not to label it as like this is yours.
No matter what though, because people were sitting at home watching it.
Oh, they think
and despite what we say before and after the podcast, I had a better view. I've slightly tweaked a few views that I had on the game on a few players, but not too much difference. It's different for Mace. For people that don't understand, Mace is doing corporate stuff basically the entire game. He's getting moved from room to room, whereas me and Lukey had the opportunity to sit there. So
like I'm missing 10 minutes sometimes in a row, like going from there all the way to the other side because I was doing stuff with the NRL, IPE, everything like that. And sometimes I would have watched probably 60 minutes maybe. Yeah. And I'm like 40 minutes.
Like, do you want me to help you out with the replies to help build out your response?
No, I'm good.
What's your overall thoughts with maybe some strong comments that you had?
Overall thoughts was like, just so I was talking to an Uber driver in here and he just goes, God, do they think we're stupid? You know what I mean? Like we know it's a show and everything like that. Like fucking 8 penalties. It was like it looks rigged. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because of how much we need game 3. He's like, what about Woodsy and this and that? I said, is he getting getting paid to say this, to build the game up? I said, I say on the show all the time, it's a soap opera. Right? It is a soap
entertainment.
Opera. It's entertainment. We're in the entertainment business, right?
Yep.
So I want to see a decider.
So do I.
Me as a person who, I'm a fucking, what do you call it? We're pundits, we're just your consumers.
We're fans of the game.
Consumers, you know what I mean? That's all we are. If I'm a player, I want a fucking fair game 2, so we can get even rub of the green, end it right now. Because go back to last year, with Suoliti getting sent off, no way you can win with 12 people in Origin. Then you see what happened in the last couple of games when it's real even, So I don't know. There's a little bit of theatre, I suppose, like when it's like 8 penalties in a row and it's like on the third tackle coming out of yardage and looking at how the game goes and how fatigue really gets you at back ends of the game. I'm like, we were just fucked. Then we come back and nearly got them.
I did an in-depth review. I highlighted moments that I thought were important, and I then put in bold Ashley Klein's decisions to go through. So if you want to quickly, we can just quickly go through them, and then I can give you I guess a bit of a recap. Yeah. So I'll start from the bottom and work my way up with how I viewed it after. I've labelled it Klein review down the bottom. So right. So I've got for Ashley Klein out of the 13 decisions that I looked at, I only had 3 wrong calls, in my opinion. And then we'll go through them and I'll explain why. But off the back of those calls, right, 2 of them, so the right calls that he got, and I thought he had 5 correct penalties. 3 of them were after what I deemed to be errors or 50-50 calls leading into it. So the right calls were the product of
just bad
multiplying.
discipline.
Bad discipline off the back of a bad call to begin with.
And one of my things is discipline, and you can see Billy was out there going, our main objective was discipline, right, in the first 30 minutes, because last time he probably thought that affected the whole game. You know, like just getting put on the whole back foot the whole time, and we did exactly that, right? This third game will be an absolute cracker because it'll be like both sides. Okay, it's even now, obviously, but like just like thinking that you can get away with shit, no, you can't.
I think
so as long as he's consistent with this, and it's like, you know, if someone's a 50-50 call and someone's pushing someone and all these little ticky-tack fouls, that's all they are. Fucking like
we'll go through them. I'll quickly go through
someone
them.
to get.
Here's the first one. We'll talk it out. So the first one, and this is a blatant mistake. Klein's first mistake, Tino knock on, and it was challenged and won by New South Wales. Nice hit on by Liam Martin and Nathan Cleary. Bang, the ball comes loose. For whatever reason, he calls a penalty for a rake. It's correctly challenged. Bang, that's his first mistake. That was in the second set of the game, Mace.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a bad start.
Yeah.
Then he blows a penalty for a dominant. So there's a dominant tackle on play 1 on the kick return. It would have been from Hammer. Then they get into Rob Toya and he blows a penalty, and it's just a soft leg out.
Yep.
Off the back of that, this is when the 50-50 comes in. So the very next set, Mo Fodawaker on the 4th tackle was attempting to play the ball, and it's one of those ones where he goes to place it into, goes to place the ball to play it, and Angus Crichton's foot comes back through. 50-50, that one for me. That can go either way, depending on,
Clear the ruck.
Yeah, clear the ruck, but I've also seen those ones penalties.
Clear the ruck.
All right, so there's 3, right? Those 3 have gone against New South Wales in a space of a 7 to 8 minute period to start. So immediately they're on the back foot.
Yeah.
All right. Then there's 2 set restarts in that set following Mo. Both correct, but both after fatigue after 2 penalties back to back. So I thought the 2 restarts were, one was a leg pull from Trell. Yeah. Anyway, they go score. That's when Hammer scores in the corner for their first try. Yep. All right. Then we get a little bit further on.
That looked too easy too, that trouble break for that.
Yeah. Then Cleary has that poor pass to Payne Haas. All right, that's an error. And then it's compounded by the Jerome Luai facial. For me, I wrote down, that's origin, that's play on. Yeah. Like NRL level. Now, people might look at that a different way. If you're looking at that
if you're Queensland.
if you're looking at that as a Queenslander, you're going, no way, his hands were all over the face. And there is
eye gouge. What are they saying, eye gouge?
Mate, at origin, we see that all the time. That's play on, right? Then, so that was one of those ones where even though I think it was the wrong call, I could understand there are a lot of people going, mate, that's a penalty every day of the week. Yes, at club level, no at origin. The next one is the Crichton high tackle on Angus Crichton on Tyre, straight after it. It's that very next tap. The right call, but it's compounded by the penalty to get out of yardage, right? Yeah. So when you look at
that's what it is. That's got me.
Yeah.
It's, you know how hard it is. Sorry, just let you finish. Go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on.
But just like it's so hard to get possession and field position in Origin. You fight for it and these long fucking ass little drills that you're doing, and then it's just the easy get out that you just don't deserve in Origin. If you're fucking they're clamping you down in your own 20-30, you're kicking from your 30, they're catching on their 40, they jam it down your throat again, and they just keep, and it's relentless, and it's relentless, and it's relentless. You end up breaking.
They won't ever build pressure.
You break. You can't build pressure, and then these little ticky-tack fouls are just like you're just touching legs and getting in the middle way of the ruck, hand on face, like, penalty. Like on their 32, on the 3rd tackle, it's fucking, people don't understand because they never fucking will, right? They never will. Because if you haven't been out there underneath those circumstances, you don't understand it.
Agreed.
You are so fatigued and you're looking for field position and you're just like, you work so hard to get it down there.
Just quickly, people can watch the game and say, oh, yeah, I understand what fatigue's like.
You don't fucking understand.
See, I don't even comment on that in Origin because I've never played Origin, right? I understand what it's like to be under fatigue at NRL level. I'd imagine, and I can only just imagine that it's 10 times as worse. So the Payne Haas penalty on play 2, when they've dominated plays 1 and 2, that's just, And then you can't build any pressure. You can't get into the back and forth. So he started it right from the start.
And then you get a penalty and you're on your halfway.
Yep.
So you're building pressure. So what? Halfway, you're going to get to at least an attacking kick.
Well, it was play 4 when Mo Fodawaker did the 50-50 one straight after.
But I'm just saying, say they kick it, they can all kick decent penalties. And just say on the third or fourth tackle, you're probably at the 30 or 40, whatever. Bang, attacking set.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, wow, you built all that pressure just for like, it's just a fucking let off. And it really gets you. Like it gets like, and not me, fucking us. Like it gets the fucking New South Wales team. And it happened with Queensland as well. But it just seemed to happen to us fucking 8 times.
All right, so then it goes the other way, out of yardage, right? So Lomax, this is the one for fighting in the play the ball. I've watched it back. Initially, I thought it looked like to be solid contact, but he glances Liero, right? It doesn't look great, but he sort of just glances the side of his head trying to fight out of
You know, I was a master at
that. Teddy's pretty good at it too, by the way.
Who started that shit?
Who's the OG?
Billy Slater.
Billy was the best.
He was the best hip escape artist / elbow into the head, quick play the ball, get the fuck out of dodge person ever. Not saying that Billy did it. Billy told him. But you have a look at some of Bill's replays.
Well, Billy clearly didn't tell him he was on the opposite.
I know that, but I'm saying but Billy would have been going, fuck. He was the king at it. Coming out of yardage, hip escape, bang, elbow. You just be like, fuck, he got me a couple of times. And then he's already there and he's playing the ball and he's fucked off. You can't catch him.
Yeah.
That was him. Did you see? It wasn't a quick hip escape. He didn't escape quick enough. He elbowed him and then he escaped, right? And so it looked like he just cracked him in the fucking head. And I was like, that's a classic, that one. Yeah. I sort of laugh at shit like that because you got busted, right? Because you got to be quick. You got to be whack. Your hips need to go that way while your elbow goes. So while get some footage of Billy Slater, please. It's fucking amazing. He was the king at that shit. Not saying he's a grub, but, bang, hip escape, play the ball. He was really good at that.
You can still hip escape without hitting someone in the head as well.
Yeah, he didn't mean to hit him in the head.
Of course.
That's what I mean. But neither did Bill. But it's just part of the game. All you're trying to do is hip escape, and that arm needs to fling back. If your fucking head's in the way, move it.
Yep. So here we go. And then back to Klein review. So Klein is okay with it. It's not until Liero stays down that video referee Butler intervenes. So that one's not Ash's fault. This is more of like I've got a team, the team making mistakes with Ashley Klein, his touchies, and the video referee Butler. Not only is it soft, Liero also gets a free interchange because it's a foul play.
You're better than that, Liero, but you're playing to the rules. I like it.
Kurt Mann comes on, free interchange. So not only do they get a penalty with New South Wales coming out of yardage, they're able to then get a free interchange as well. And then I got Cotter an error on the restart. New South Wales offside penalty. So this isn't Ashley's a gripe at Ashley. This is what I believe. I think it's the touchies, right? So Ruben Cotter goes to take a hit up. It looks like Jerome's really quick off the defensive line, but they have 2 penalties for offside throughout the game. Queensland 0.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, that's a 50-50. That's a touchy score. I can't blame Ash for that. Then we go down to the Cleary no try. Stefano just labouring in the line. Correct call.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
As much as, you sort of...
It was. I was just like, when you look at it like just not with the clear breakdown, and I didn't even see Stefano. You know what I mean? I didn't even see him. I just thought, fuck, that's try.
And he
tried to get
accidentally leans back in the
out of the way. You can't. God, they just some of the lead runners and everything like that, and the big boys get the fuck out of the way, sprint through.
So now this is where I'm going into the right calls, right? So if you're looking at right call, Ashley, then they compound it. Hudson Young has a penalty as he tries to strip the ball from Paddy Carrigan. Yeah. He's got his hands all over the ball. Again, the right call. Now they're heavily under fatigue. So this is where you start to. This is where it's like
it's compounding.
It's compounding through the errors that they've made early on. Yep. Then we get to the second half. KP knocks on. It's saved by Luai being offside. So the touchy's call, I couldn't really see it. I think it's a 50-51, but I think that's a touchy score. Again, that's not Ash. Then there's a penalty from a short dropout. This is the first time I've written this down. This is the first time New South Wales get a penalty. The 45th minute.
Oh, shit. Really?
The 45th minute. And it's just a blatant one. KP's offside. Hammer goes up for a short dropout. Latrell sort of, tackles him, and then KP's offside. Easy penalty, so there's no grey area.
45th minute?
45th minute.
How many have they had?
They've had 9. The penalty counts 9-1 to this
Pretty
point.
even.
Tino, another loose carry. Hudson can't control and Cotter jumps on it, 50-50, which leads to a Robson penalty in the ruck. And then I wrote right call. So then to finish off with Xavier Coates, penalty for tackling Lomax in the air. What was he supposed to do? Even though I hate the rule, it's the right call. So we then don't have Ashley Klein doesn't get involved at all after that point, which is around the 50-minute mark. And then we see New South Wales just go bang, bang.
Just lets
bang.
it, then he all of a
It
sudden
gets into
lets
a
it
rhythm.
start playing.
And it reminds you of game one as well. Going back to game one.
High-speed grinds. They cannot fuck with New South Wales when it's a high-speed grind.
But even if you go back to what happened in game one as well, we're talking about it from Queensland's perspective, where New South Wales just had all the rub of the green and the 50-50s early on.
Yeah.
And then that period of fatigue is where New South Wales sort of went bang, bang, bang. And then it was just like, it was too much for them and they were unable to overcome it.
It's so hard now. I mean, I'm not making any excuses up at all, right? I just want a fair game. I want a fair game. Both. I can't have us have one penalty in the 45th minute, our first penalty. You know, you can pick and choose a lot of little things that you just did then and go, that should have been a penalty, shouldn't have been a penalty. Yeah, it could be like, just say 4-1, 4-2. You know, you can't make it so lopsided when you know this whole game. And it is when I'm saying when it was fast when I was playing, it's got to be fucking twice as fast now.
Oh, yeah.
With these 6 to goes and get up and get outside of 7 tackle sets. Like it is compounding. These big boys are out there so long, they're under fatigue. And when you do something like this as a performance, as a ref, it's fucking hard. And we nearly end up fucking winning. That's the problem. We nearly end up getting them, but just make the right calls. Like as I said, like when we first made some, that's why I genuinely asked you. So what was the ref like when we were in Perth? Because I didn't know that. I didn't know it was.
You were
this
trying
bad.
to get a feel for it.
I was trying to get a feel for it because I kept hearing like, oh, he was bad. Because I was like, yeah, no, watch. I was like, 8-0. Like, come on, man. Like, what do you just fucking make? If you're gonna fuck us like that, you know what I mean, mate? Don't do it so blatantly. Don't do it. It's so blatant. You know what I mean? I get it. Oh, if we kicked all the goals, we would have fucking. Yeah, I get it. I get all that shit. But just make it a fair one. But you know, the game wants the fucking.
So what does the game want?
The game wants a decider.
Does the game want?
Not him as ref, but
the reports are that unless he has a shocker leading into the next, and to be completely honest, the one game that I didn't get a good read on over the weekend, so I'll require you for the review for this, was I was calling the Broncos Sharks game, and then we had a post show for SEN yesterday. So I was like, we had the game on in the background. He was reffing the Roosters Cowboys game. Apparently, he has to have a couple of rough weeks before they even contemplate a change. But if you look at not only us who were critical of him, there were pretty much every other media platform, radios.
Game's got to be off him, man. Like the NRL's got to be looking at him going, fuck, surely we got someone better than him. All we keep talking about as a game, we talked about this fucking dude in game one, and then we're talking about him even more in game two. It's the only game that holds more he's getting more paper time and air time than any of the players. The game should be talking about fucking Origin at its peak, the game at its peak, not this fucking guy just going fucking blowing penalties whenever he wants and fucking game's up. That's all we do. This is the only sport that we talk so much about refs. He'd be on the front page, fucking back page. I want to hear about refs.
Here's quickly on that. And this is where, trying to be constructive with it as well. Like me and Lukey were talking about it at the airport on the way home. People were like, oh, you're always bashing refs. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I believe we have the officiating that is up to standard for such big games, and they currently have it within their system, and they're not using it. Yeah. This is why it's frustrating to me, and I don't like. And it's, I don't mean to, I know he's been getting habit on this, and I don't want to continue going on it, but he is not even in the top 4 referees, and there are 2 that are way better, and they even reffed better on the weekend, and they've one of them's reffed really well in 2023. No, not your man Todd Smith.
I don't mind him.
Well, he's been considered, but he's better than Ash too, by the way.
Yeah, but
it's Adam G.
I like the G, man.
Free the G. This is the hashtag.
Free the G.
This is the hashtag.
I'm all
Free
for
the G.
I'm all for the G.
Free the G. Grant Atkins, video referee.
That's it.
That's your best combo. That is the best combo, and I've been saying this now for 2 years. that the officiating have. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's an ego thing or it's a runs on the board because he's been a vet for 30 so years.
No.
It's got to the point now where it's become a farce because you're right, Mace. Everyone across the media, whether it's TV, radio, or podcast, has talked about the officiating.
Everything is about officiating, right?
It should
right
be
now,
about the players.
It's not about how fucking brilliant our game is and how fucking great it is week in, week out, what we're built as an NRL fucking as a business and what Volandis has been doing and how good Origin is and fucking test football, this fucking the CBA's billions of dollars. We're talking about fucking this officiating all the time. All the fucking time. You watch 360 and fucking this guy's a Derek, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, can we stop it with this shit?
Again, here we go, mate. This is the example I'll go back to. 2023. One of the best grand finals of all time.
What did he do to someone?
Multiple swings in the game, momentum swings. Penrith are dominating for 20 minutes to start the game. It's not reflected on the scoreboard, but they're dominating. Then Broncos have that 40-minute swing where Ezra goes off and he looks like he's going to get a Clive Churchill. Yeah. And then Nathan has the 20 minutes of doom, wins the Clive Churchill, wins the grand final. No one talked about Adam G at all. All we were talking about was the heroics of Nathan Cleary and how close Ezra Mann was. The players decided the game. Like and then we don't see him in fucking big games after it.
I want to know what he done. He has to have done something because I thought that was him ascending and taking over like whoever was the top dog.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like when Bill Harrigan and that was sort of those, the dudes and then the other ones were coming up and going, all right, you're done. You've been reffing for 20 plus years.
Do you think we'll clip this? Do you reckon you'll be able to clip
what do you mean?
bits of this, Lukey?
Yeah. We can.
Free the G.
Free the G.
That's the hashtag. I've seen it because it's popped up on comments before on other stuff that we've done and other people.
Heaps of people commenting.
Free the G.
Yeah.
Free the G.
I thought he was the best a couple of years ago and he's just been black booked.
To your point before, it was every single podcast and independent bit of media because the main media don't often go hard. They do, but like
they got a job.
Independent media to like use their platform for this, it felt coordinated almost. Like everyone but that's just a reaction.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, it did feel like it because once I seen the react video. By the way, this is super awkward. Me and Lukey are on the plane going home with Ashley Klein and the video and the referees and the touchies.
Hey,
but this is like the next day. I've played a little bit of golf in the morning. Lukey's a little bit hungover.
Yeah.
And then we get off the plane and I'm looking at it and it's fucking blown up. And I've gone, oh shit. Because when you're on the plane for 5.5, 6 hours, I'm looking at it and go, well, that's pretty awkward anyway, just like strolling past. I was this close. I was this close to going over and just going, mate, these are my frustrations. But I didn't want it like.
It's also not the space.
It's not the space. It's not the space. And then there's in my head, I was like, I didn't want to come over like intimidating and all that sort of carry on. Even though in my mind I knew it wouldn't have been, but I wanted to go to him and go.
You said when you were getting the bags, when you'd done the bags off, that would have been perfect.
Yeah,
that's what I was standing.
That was the time.
I opened the clip, and then I'm like, oh shit, can't put that on. Turn that on.
And I wanted to, you know what I'm like, mate. I wanted to be even keel, and I wanted to say, mate, what are you seeing in these games? Like how you're a veteran of 30 plus years. How do you not have a feel for? Everyone wants to see the players figure it out to begin with.
There you go.
If someone goes over the top, it's like fuck. Anyway, it's got to that point. It's super frustrating.
It's got to that point where it's just like it's ridiculous, right? I was just thinking when I watch it again the second time, I was just like, wow, how's he our top ref? That's all I'm thinking. I'm like, how he's the top ref? I know he was our top ref, but how is he right now the NRL's top ref? He's like, it's not like you pay, as we've spoken about the payment of referees, isn't it? He'd be on a fucking quid. You're paying him $450, $500 a year, I reckon.
Yeah.
Easy.
As in, be clear with that. As in, not the payment from anything outside of what their salaries are.
As a ref,
that sounded like.
He's getting paid from Volandis. No. He's like, his salary is he's fucking up there.
300 plus, you get, like, same as a player, you get Origin.
Yeah, it'd be bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I reckon the top referees would be closer to 5 potentially.
He's fucking one of them.
I reckon maybe the more bigger games also, like maybe you get a little incentive and bonus for that. And
he gets most tests. He gets most fucking Origins.
Yeah. Free the G.
Get him out there.
Atkins video referee too, by the way.
And my man on the sideline somewhere, I don't know.
Who's
Red Fade. What's his name?
Todd Smith. Touchy.
Todd Smith.
Yeah.
With the faded
touchy
job. The sick ass fade.
He'd be quick down the side.
He would miss a beat.
We'll come back to it. Actually, let's go to. Do you want to go into the replies first? While we're on the New South Wales. All right. So, a lot of people went to us about Jerome Luai being the scapegoat. So this one comes from Diggs Z. The Luai scapegoat already in place. He set up tries on the left side while Cleary did what? Luai was top 3 for the Blues. Man, the disrespect is crazy. What was your thoughts on Luai now that you've watched it back?
Well, watching it, me live, I thought Latrell didn't fucking touch the ball at all. Critter didn't touch the ball. Luai didn't touch the ball. And it was just never, because I must have been in little places when Critter scored and I had to score, or Latrell, beautiful fucking soft hands. And yeah, they were all right. Luai was all right. Like, I don't think anyone played that bad. Like to be going, all right, see you later. There'll be some of the benchies and some of the starters.
We'll see.
You can't fuck with the.
I thought, and I am confident in this. Like when I watched it back, Luai was nervous to begin with. He come up with a kick out on the full in the first set.
That's what everyone's looking at. That's probably it.
Yeah,
he kicked out in the full, so he choked.
Yeah, no, so he kicked it out on the full to begin with, and then he had 2 or 3 passes that hit the deck. Bouncing off the left edge. You know, he bounces around a fair bit. Yeah. He threw a couple back to the middle of the field that hit the grass. So that's what stood out for me. And then also, he went to put a kick in at the back end of the first half, dropped it. Then it's a fucking, it goes all over the shop. He throws it back on the inside to Nath. Nath gets it away. I think maybe kicks again and then and then Critter. So that's what I sort of remembered from Jerome when I was asking him the question. I never really thought he was in danger of losing his spot.
No, I didn't.
And credit to him, watching in the second half, despite probably having the worst first half that I've ever seen him play, he was able to regather. Take a breath at halftime. He come back out and had some really nice moments in the second half. Now, people were giving him too much credit for the left side tries to Brian Toto. That was Trell. Yeah. So the people were down.
Good decoys too, Crichton.
Later on, I've got a question about Latrell. Trell had 5 to 6 really big moments in the game, and I think even though again stats
feed those dogs early.
That's my only criticism with Jerome in the second half, and that's the criticism of Jerome. More Connor Watson when he come on, and Nath. Nath has got to take accountability
when
for
Connor Watson comes on, he just does what? And like a traditional, those Craig wings and that, they just fucking run. They get told to speed the ruck up.
Yeah.
Instead of like he needs to understand. I think Wingy got into his game real good later. He'd speed it up, but then he'd learn how to pass and he could speed up and then bang, he'd hit centers like Gaz and all those sort of blokes. That's what he needs to do after a quick play of the ball. And they need to be pushing up with him as well. Like sometimes when they're so fucked when he gets on.
Yeah.
Like when what minute did Connor Watson get on? First half, second half?
60, 60 minutes.
Yeah, everyone's fucked. You know what I mean?
No, that's the opposite, Mace. He was too erratic. When he come on down the right edge.
I'm saying to push up with him, like he's so erratic and it's... You know what I mean?
There's no excuse for it.
Okay,
There's no excuse for it. He went down the right edge a couple of times when it wasn't on. Like, at first watching it, I was like, oh, what's going on? Why are they calling it down that edge? Latrell's just put on 2 tries with Jerome. Yeah. Credit to Jerome to being a part of it. But it was Latrell, the quick tip-ons that only he can do. Yeah. Like, even Critter tried to do a quick tip-on in the first half. And Critter nails them on the occasion. Yeah, Latrell nails them every time. Yeah. I'm screaming at watching the replay. And by the way, I keep saying this. I'm neutral. I care less. Yeah. I could care less who wins. Yeah. Latrell is killing it on the left with the quick tip-ons, and he has Hammer screaming out of the line, and Rob Toy is a little bit unsure where he is. Connor goes short side 3 or 4 times on the right edge before it goes out with Zach Lomax, right?
Yeah.
But my big thing with that is, you know, Jerome and Nathan have to get the ball to Latrell because he's the one that's causing them the most dramas. Yeah. Again, the nice part with Jerome is the try for Angus Crichton. Great footy awareness. They had a good plan at halftime. They realised Kalen was getting at a defender so much that they were able to isolate him, put those little kicks in. So we'll get to that in a little bit with Kalen.
That's a smart play, man. Under pressure. On every level you can do that.
Yep.
How many tries go in there? Bradman Best scoring a couple of tries. They're always isolating whoever's that fullback is at. It's a fucking good play.
He's got a nice touch. He's got a really nice touch.
On the left side, especially with Luai, those just that you can dig into the line really far and put him so tight. Like his touch is so good. And even on the right side, if you're a right side kicker, they do that as well. Like get your fucking centers and back rolls just flying through.
Flying into that space.
Like everyone's defense is so good, right? It's so good, especially at that level. But like, you push that line up, little dummy here, have a fullback holding here, and then they're coming up. That winger has to hold because you got Latrell there, right? And you got Bizza there, you got Tyler there. You've got to maintain this. You're just worried about that. You're going to try and turn and chase. Crichton's quick enough, and fucking something that they need to really look at. It's hard to execute, and it's hard to execute
because you know what's on play 2 and 3.
Because you're trying to trap and scrap. Do you know what I mean? When Luai does it, your head. How many times did it get scrapped?
Well, Nath on the right, he did it on the other side, but he does the little pop gun over top, so it prevents that. Luai's he's probably the best in the game at floating across field, looking like shape, and then at the last minute dropping it onto the foot where
Ponga's good as well.
Ponga's good at it.
Good on the left side.
Where they're unable to trap and scrap on the right. It would have been Tommy Dearden and Ruben Cotter and the likes. But so
it's mainly the left footers. Like they got beautiful touch.
Yeah, I thought Jerome was poor in the first half. Got himself together with the New South Wales team, and credit to him.
Yeah.
For getting that left edge going. I thought he'd come up with a couple of nice plays, but nowhere near the top 3. Brian Tyler was the player of the match. Yeah. I thought Reece Robson was awesome. The physicality of Liam Martin, and we'll get to Trell and Haas a little bit later on.
Robson just saw that human must be right now.
This is fair criticism, and this is what I miss watching it back. And now after the fact, people were talking about about Nathan being injured going into the game. I thought Nath was off as well. And I thought there were a couple of things that factored into that. Obviously, being on the back foot, and then in the second half when they were trying to get the rhythm, we sort of talked a little bit about the critical nature of the way that Isaiah Yeo plays, how he tries to be. He wasn't like that at all. It was actually Hudson Young, the player through the middle.
I watched it again. I only must have saw a couple of things of Yoey. Yeah. Yoey's way more direct than I thought. Yeah, it was weird.
You know what it reminded me of, and this is not a beat down on Hudson Young, but a lot of people have been coming at me for both Jerome and Hudson. I'm adamant, and now watching it back, I'm confident my review of Jerome was correct in the first half. Did a great job to sort of get himself back in the second half. And Hudson Young in this game and the time that he was on, he reminded me of when Teddy didn't work in a different position with Yoey and Nath. It's clear that they've got their plan now with Dylan Edwards, Yoey and Nath when they're out there together. And you know how Teddy used to throw it out of whack by sort of just getting involved?
What position did Huddy come on?
No, but here's the thing, right? But it's in a different position. It's with Huddy playing lock. So Teddy used to come and play in this system and run for 220 metres and have really good stats, but get in the way and throw out the rhythm. Hudson did it at the lock position.
Why did he go to lock?
Because he was put on for Isaiah Yeo potentially, or he was put on for a front rower, and Isaiah Yeo moved up into the front row.
He went up and someone come back for Stefano or something.
So he was getting in for good carries and that, and making good meters, and showed great energy. If you watch closely in the background, you watch closely in the background, you can see Yoey, Nath Cleary, and Dylan Edwards just like, oh fuck, now we're off the spot again. Yeah. We got to get back to the spot. So it's not an energy thing. And I've said this before, I want Hudson Young as an 80-minute back rower.
Yeah.
Or there's a part of me that just doesn't want him out there at all.
No, that's valid. Yeah. That's valid.
Back to Cleary. Cleary was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. But I thought there were some things that factored into it. In saying that, he needs a huge game 3.
If Cleary didn't have that try taken off him, right?
He was ready to
watching it, I wouldn't even fucking notice he played. Do you know what I mean? And that's because I had to watch, oh, shit, yes, try, fuck yeah. Oh, it's brought back. Oh. You know what I mean? I honestly didn't realise. And that's Nathan Cleary we're talking about, arguably the greatest player in our generation in the NRL at the moment. So he needs a fucking game 3.
He needs a huge game 3.
And put New South Wales on his shoulders. I don't give a fuck about game 1 and 2. It's in Sydney. It's Nathan Cleary's fucking turn. We'll get to that shit again, but he needs that.
How for sure
when
he does.
Everyone keeps talking, he needs his origin moment. He needs origin moments. He needs to be the man in origin, right? Everyone keeps saying that's the only thing he hasn't dominated. I would say that he has dominated origin, but not a whole series. If he gets this one done,
you don't necessarily have to dominate a game 1 or game 2. You don't necessarily have to dominate a full series. But look what Jerome and Mitch did last year in game 3. That wasn't the prettiest game by any means.
That was the hardest fucking game of all time, no?
But it wasn't a 40 to fucking 6 or whatever. It wasn't dominant in that fashion. It was a tough, gritty win, and Luai and Jerome got the job done.
Moses scored that try, and oh damn!
Would you think it'd be right? with the groin?
Who?
Do you think
Yeah.
he's working?
Who's who's injured?
Go say that again.
Do you think he'll be right with the groin?
You got
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
working.
mic
It's
of all
working.
time.
It's working. Yeah.
It's Cleary's groin.
Well, apparently, so there's the reports are now after the fact, and I don't know if this is trying to protect Nathan, honestly, but the reports that Payne and Nath were in doubt.
Yeah, Payne was in heaps of doubt.
A captain's run.
Yeah. Fucking goes there and then backs up for the Broncos and just
We'll get to
fucking
that in a
terror.
bit.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Come on.
But apparently those two had injury scares a couple of days before, and the New South Wales kept it on the wraps. So, Nath was out doing, went out to the field and just pretended to do visualization
Did you
of
watch
like
it?
goal
Did you watch
kicking.
the video of it?
No.
Yeah, so basically it looked like the moment where he might have even tweaked it.
Yep.
So he's gone up to take the conversion.
Yep.
And instead of just following through with his foot, he sort of just, it looks like he's visualizing it, but
Yep.
it's also the point where it's like, oh, I don't want to swing my leg.
That's what I used to do
gotcha.
at training, just see if I can just sort of get it over, you know?
But it didn't,
Remember, he's just,
I don't know, they
fucking-
labelled it as
He would've-
visualization. It didn't look like
mate,
visualization.
you know how nervous you'd be if fucking Nathan Cleary, Payne Haas even fucking said, I got a bruise on my fucking left pinky? You'd be like, put him in fucking cotton wool right now. You know what I mean? Like, and I have no doubt that they would have had some sort of injury cloud, right? A groin, a little bit of a tightened groin. Yeah, it fucking happens. Look what round it is. Fucking round 15 or 16.
Yep.
It happens. They play massive minutes. He's a kicker. He's known for having little soft tissue injuries. Payne Haas is just a fucking animal.
He's
And
an
then
animal.
but he would have been a little bit fucking busted up. But he just don't give a shit because
So
he just don't stop.
Madge was saying after the game, Payne's got nerve back damage that is filtering down to like the groin, the quad.
This is where you fucking, when you're in your prime, when you're fucking 25, 26, you go, what fucking injury? You know what I mean? Like, that's where Payne Haas is at the moment. He feels like a fucking unstoppable force, and that's what he is, right? And I think his mindset, can't fuck with it, right? You go, he, as you said just then, like when he's got this and nerve damage and that. But it's like sometimes you got to take it out of their fucking hands. You know what I mean? Because I like me being 45 years old and having 45-year-old friends who fucking treated their bodies like that. Fuck it, who cares? You're all getting back ops and neck ops and fucking knee replacements and all that sort of shit. But you just can't tell a young man who's in that sort of form and in that sort of mindset to go, hey, just back off a bit. Otherwise, he would not have played on the weekend and just went mental again. Like he just...
So here's the comment too, going back to the Nath one as well. I forgot to read this out. Geez, I love the boys, but felt there were a few misses on this one. Cleary was pretty pedestrian. Romy opened it up on the left side for Trell and Biz. Hoz had Stefano playing a good game, 5 runs for 41 metres and barely made an impact on the game. Also had a try pulled back for loitering in the line. Geez, they're tough on him for that one. That's one that doesn't matter whether it's Stefano or...
It's the fucking 5 runs for 41 metres.
The poor stat line from Stefano, who else was there? Max King, and who was the other bench?
Galbad.
Even Spencer's numbers were...
Just can put up how many minutes our big boys played apart from Payne Haas.
They
Like,
all played 25, 30 each.
Yeah. What the fuck do you expect him to do? This is like when we're talking about Liero and Famore last week about like how Origin is percepted in your head like, fucking seemed pretty easy. Got 100 metres, fucking nothing. And we won easy. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get on there and you're under the pump and you're getting fucking like, you're getting leg outs all the time. You got to defend while you're on there the whole time.
So that's a reflection of Hudson Young playing 40-45 through the middle as well. So they played Joey in the front row and Hudson Young at lock or Hudson in that. So that's the way Laurie went to chase points. I think that's the thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. We just need to set up. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard getting blown off the field in the first like 25 minutes with 8 penalties or 25, 30 minutes. You know, Payne Haas is still there. I think Max King only played one stint.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like he played 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in 2.
Did he get a? I think he might have got. Did he feel like he got a sneaky little?
Feel
five
like
at the
I
end?
don't think so. I was
feel like
watching
I
it.
don't
No. I feel like he didn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think he just. Yeah, but I mean, like, what's the point?
So the point is, for this question, Stefano's the one that's been targeted heavily. And then all the chat, again, is resurfacing with the middles that haven't been playing. So Terrell May and Keon. Do you think we will see
small
either
ball?
of them? Do you think we'll see either of them?
I think if anyone, we're going to see Keon.
Yeah.
Because he's just got better leg speed. But like, you know, he does a lot of work, right? A lot of work for South. You know, like he'll get you 200 and something plus metre, but he's got the ball 26, 27 times. So his average is not like he's averaging like 9, 10 metres. It's like pretty low average per carry, right? He does, seriously. Like does a lot. He does the most work in that whole team. You get the ball like within 15 minutes, he's had 12 hit-ups, 12 or 13 hit-ups.
But see, yeah, you're right. So the thing is...
Like, I need a fucking absolute animal.
Yeah, he does his best work late when people get fatigued. Yeah. So...
He's going to be way more... He's going to be fatigued out in Origin.
Yeah, but he's way more versatile than what Stefano and Max King are providing.
I said from the start, I fucking have him in the 17.
Yeah.
If you're going to have someone like... I'd rather have him than Huddy Young.
Yep.
Because he can ball play.
Yep.
Because you can play both edges and it's more movable pieces.
Yep.
Like you can fucking shove Liam Martin in the middle for a little bit and put him on the right edge. Right? Stiffen the middle up for a bit, Liam. We need you. Fucking oath. Go and crash everybody. Fucking no. You can't because you can't move other people. Stefano can't play right edge. Max King can't play both edges. There's only one fucking human in there that can and he hasn't been played, hasn't been looked at. You know what I mean? If you want to put Liam Martin in the middle and go take care of Tino. You're already doing it from right edge anyway. Get in the middle and fucking take care of him. He would do that fucking yes, sir. How many times?
The beauty of Keon is you don't even need to do that because he can play middle and then he can cover. If anything happens to Liam Martin and Angus Crichton, then you can move him out.
But I'm just saying that's the versatility of him. You could put Keon on the right edge, right, just for a bit to put fucking Liam Martin in, and they can both exchange. You know what I mean? When you know what's going on, if you can play right edge and you can play in the middle, you can have a combination there with Liam Martin during the week going, if I fucking shove you in for a couple, I'll just take care of your edge or whatever. Yeah, that's the kind of combinations that you have with your left and right edges. They need to be interchangeable with your middles. Your middles need to be they need to understand what the fuck is going on the left edge. And if they get caught a metre wide, they don't just shit themselves.
Yep.
Right? So that's what happens. That's what Keon Koloamatangi brings. Not just the one big cunt who can just... Sorry.
That's all right.
Not just the one big human who can get out there and just play in the middle in between the fucking hash lines and shits themselves when they have to go around the fucking edge and be that A guy on a four man. And you got Munster coming at you. Keon ain't going to shit himself. He gets that position all the time. But if you don't fucking ever put yourself in that position on the weekends or anything like that, you are fucking skating. When you see a fucking Kalen Ponga come around the other side, they've already gotten to Crichton and you have to go back around here, you're going, fuck this. And you sit back and you backpedal. You might end up getting skinned. But if you know what's going on, you're comfortable.
Yep. I'd be comfortable with Keon coming onto the bench for either Huddy, Stefano, or even in place of Max King, who I think has been good without, like his game one was good, but 25 minutes and then not getting put on is a reflection of the way that the New South Wales staff also viewed him as well. So we'll see what happens there as well. This one comes from Pat. There's no better feeling than waking up as a Queenslander after an Origin win. What a game Brian Toto had. He has to be one of the scariest players, when he's on a team chasing the lead. Every time he got the ball, my heart was in my mouth with the Trell and Toto combo. Yeah. Those two were awesome.
Absolutely.
And this one comes from Samoan Hulk. Let's just chuck this in. Scope is just like all other media personalities. Too scared to critique Trell. He was shocking. Doesn't look for the ball. Hates a yardage hit up. Rubbish in defence. Grow a periscope and be honest. He was poor. Also, Hulk. Samoan Hulk. Latrell was awesome. Go back and watch the game.
Watch the game, yeah.
You probably watch it out of a different lens than what I do. So he come up with a couple of really big moments. One, he had... Firstly, on the yardage carries, I thought he had 3 or 4 really tough yardage carries where maybe you don't view it as a yardage carry because he actually finds his front compared to what other people do, so it doesn't look like a tough yardage carry. It was one off the ruck after Brian Toto had caught the ball a couple of times. Yeah. He had 3 huge defensive plays. So he had a really bad one to start the game on Brian Toto, bit way too hard. That was after 2 penalties and 2 6-agains. I'm not giving him a pass for it, but it was a bad read. And
Crichton got caught at marker as well, and says that's what I'm saying. They had to bring another guy over, and he didn't trust.
Okay, so I didn't see that.
So I saw that, and I was like, why did he bite so hard for when he should have just trusted? They fucked it up. They got at the left 4.
Despite all that,
I know.
Trell's got to be better than that. He's got to make. He bit way too hard. He's got to have faith in his inside. That's my critique on him. That's the only critique.
Yeah.
So other bits that he did in the game. When they were under the pump, they'd scored a couple of tries. He rocks Mo Fodawaker off the kickoff. Error. Knock on. New South Wales get the ball. He comes up with a huge one-on-one rake on Jeremiah Nanai in the second half. They're able to score the set after that. And in the first half, another moment when Queensland look like they're going to go bang, bang, bang. They break down the opposite edge, down the right edge. They shift across. He spooks Robert Toya enough where Robert Toya drops the ball and Latrell jumps on a loose ball. There were so many effort plays, and maybe Samoan Hulk, you're looking at it from a different lens. There might be a little bit of hate by the sounds of it with your chat of media personalities not critiquing him, or maybe you're just a stats guy. Maybe you're just looking at the end game and seeing a stat line of 6 carries for 60 or so meters and not as many tackles, because that's what a lot of fans do, and people who haven't lived it and haven't played it, and they just play Supercoach.
And I'll add on to that, just so when you are talking about his play twos and that, you don't really kick to Bizza that much, right? Because he's so good with it. You know, he's so good with his fucking runs. You know, he's always going to find his front and then Trell, and you don't want Trell on the back of that. If you're a smart coach, you're always going to kick that way. You'll cop that. You'll cop that hit, you know what I mean?
For Zach, in yardage, you're right.
And even Critter, you'll cop those too, because they're bigger bodies. They're bigger bodies you can get under. You can sort of, you know, even though it's Origin, you know.
In good ball, they kick the blind tie.
Exactly,
because they've got the height
in good
advantage.
ball, but not when they're just trying to get out of yardage. You know, just don't kick to Bizza because they know they've got Latrell straight behind, and so that's why you probably don't look at those stats like that,
because his stat line doesn't.
He's never going to blow you out of the way with stats. Sometimes. But like the touches that he has and the game breaking things that he does do, like I think you're being a little bit harsh, mate.
Yeah, even the 2 try assists, just because he does it and makes it look easy, that is not an easy play. In those conditions, in the wet, finding Brian Toto on the chest. Great finishes from Bizza, awesome finishes, especially the third one. But in saying that, if he doesn't get it right on the chest, he loses momentum and he's not able to go over. Just look what Alex Johnson's doing on the weekend as well. Right. Like the way that he hits
straight on. You know, just give it a catch the fucking ball.
All right, that's New South Wales. Let's move to Queensland. This one comes from Jaden Parada. Curdy Capes was my man of the match in everything, dominant tackles and support play.
His defense.
Money was awesome. On reflection, watching the game back, I would have been comfortable with giving it to Capes as well. I thought he was awesome.
I agree. I thought when I actually, after the game, who got the man of the match, they gave the money. I was like, then I watched it again. I said, he was like top 3 best player on the field. But
he had huge moments, like Latrell for Queensland.
I'm not sure if, anyone played that much better than him not to give it to him as well.
Yeah. We'll see. He had huge moments with the try, some influence with some big tackles, like even right at the death, coming up with the shot on Payne Haas where he loses the ball. Yeah. Like he had big moments in the game that really stood out, and it was a real captain's knock. But Kurt Capewell was awesome. Was
amazing, wasn't he? His defence was awesome.
Mate, he pumped Payne Haas. He pumped.
Yeah. He fucking pumped Payne Haas. He pumped Payne Haas. That's enough.
Yeah.
It was fucking legit. Bang, straight here.
I think he pumped Spencer as well.
Yeah, he got a few. No, he was defensively. I thought he was outstanding with the ball. He's good enough. He can play any position. He's definitely gone up. Fucking hell.
My top 3 on reflection after watching the game. Maybe a top 4 podium. I thought Capes was awesome. Yeah. I thought Lindsay Collins played his best game in 18 months.
Yeah.
You were scared of that reaction from Lindsay, weren't you?
Yeah, because I know that, as I said, he's got that in him, right? And I thought at the start when they did pick him, he's played 28 minutes of NRL in 6 to 7 weeks. You cannot expect to go out there and fucking do more than what he did.
You did say that.
But
fair.
You give him 3 or 4 weeks.
I was worried about him.
Now he's got 5 weeks. He's got 6 weeks till this fucking game 3. That's what you expect from Lindsay Collins. He's an absolute machine when he's going good. But fucking any big man who's been out for 6 weeks with a little syndesmosis or something like that, and then you go back into an Origin arena, he did well enough to even get through that game.
Harry was awesome, and Money.
Harry was, they were all good. Man, I'm taking no fucking. Don't sit here thinking that we're just fucking hating on Queensland. We're hating on the ref more than anything. Queensland deserved to win. They fucking played good. They played to their field position and everything like that, and executed all their tries that they had to do. Their best players stood up exactly what they wanted to do. There's not one of their top 5 players that didn't play in the top 5. You know what I mean? Like Harry Grant had his worst, probably not even Origin, worst game he's ever played, right? And then he comes out and just didn't make a mistake. He didn't do anything wrong. Dearden was outstanding. It looks like they made the right choice there. Money, I mean, Ponga was even good. Their forwards stood up. Like
we'll get to Ponga a little bit later.
Everything that they fucking... everyone who copped a little bit of criticism, which is what I'm always scared of when we do that, when we do beat Queensland. Yeah, that's what I was scared of, like with who was going to win.
Well, let's stay on Ponga. Actually, we won't move off it. Let's stay on Ponga. I thought he's excellent defensively in the first half with getting him lined up. Yeah. My critique for him heavily in the second half, and this is a critique for him and Billy as a coaching staff. They got exposed because he was so energetic, and I watched him shoot out of the line inside the 20 defensively a couple of times and come up with huge tackles. Now, he had that miss on Nath that he was lucky didn't go the other way, which would have highlighted it even more. But you get away with it. It's a penalty. You know, if Paddy Carrigan doesn't get checked by Stefano, he's in that hole and it doesn't lead to a try. But I love the intent from Kalen. In the second half, after watching it back, when he gets stripped, so he got stripped the first time, or they tried a couple of times in the first half, and I'm like, all right, surely you get to halftime and you adjust. He gets done again with little short kicks where he's not there because he's in at A defender. Kalen and Billy have to make the adjustment. Like, you got to stop defending at A because you're going to get those little dinks in behind, and that's where New South Wales got all their...
Hate it. I hate how they defend like that. I get it because it's a bit of a mirage of, like, you know, there's an extra defender, but they're not there. They're shadowing the whole thing, and then they're back out there. I don't know. I don't mind that other old way when they used to defend. He would just be behind that and play the ball somewhere and then just fucking chase the ball wherever it is.
I think it's a high percentage play for this, mate. It is because they want you to execute.
Punch your numbers up.
Yeah, well, so it forces you, the opposition, so Jerome and Nathan, to do the lower percentage play, which is the kick. Because if he's not in the line right, then they can go through and get their normal shape and going through the hands, which is, like I said, a high percentage play. But Nathan and Jerome are nailing it. Yeah. Like, they were putting it on the spot every time. Yeah. That low percentage play is now turned into a high percentage play because Nathan and Jerome are the best at exposing it with their beautiful, nice short kicking game. So that's where I go, all right, you might have had a plan going into this game and it's worked in the first half. It started to unfold at the back end of the first half, and it well and truly did at the start of the second half. Make an adjustment.
Yeah, you have to. And I think you can leave it up to these elite fullbacks where there's enough around the middles, right? You got two guys there. How many do you need? Yeah, like you don't have two blokes spotting up KP. Do you know what I mean? They're very well spread out. They're not even trying to get near the markers. They're trying to get outside B and 3-man, right? Nearly out to the 4-man, Payne Haas and all these sort of blokes. They're not even near that. You get it smashed. It's a fucking stupid play if you're lining up that close in Origin. Bang. So the fullbacks really just count numbers. Then you can just slip real quick. Just get out the back wherever the fucking ball's going. You stand behind the ruck and then fucking get on your bike. You've got to be able to make adjustments. You can't just stand there and wait and then go.
So, but the thing is, and this is the problem, he was getting in at genuine A and making tackles and getting stuck at marker and A defender. Like,
they're trying to get at him, right?
But this is early in the tackle.
We're burning a play just to try and get at him.
Correct.
We're burning one. Fucking who cares?
They were burning a play to get him tied up. Once he was in the tackle to either mark or getting back late to A, that's when they were pulling the trigger. Yeah. And sometimes it was I think there was a time where it was on the second tackle or from Jerome. So, it's something.
Some of these they're too good.
Yeah, they've got to be aware of it going into the second game. This is a good point. This is this is what you were talking about with the feeling of New South Wales getting tackled as soon as they catch the ball, and it was noticeable as well. Covey MWS said, "Hey boys, L1 from day one. My takeaway from the Maroons' game plan in this one is a change in their kicking tactics. To me, it seemed like Munster specifically was kicking shorter and higher, which allowed everyone else to kick chase hard and hitting the New South Wales back five as soon as they caught the ball."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said that. I saw that a lot. And then when they were kicking or when we were catching and bang. When they were catching, it was just like, they'll give you 10 metres. I was just like, that is not it. You need to shorten that shit up.
I think that's part strategy, and also like Cam doesn't have as big a kick as Daly.
Yeah.
I think that's just
I think
like
that just
how-
happened. It just sort of happened, didn't it? It's just like, okay, they were probably used to the distance that Cherry would give you, right? So it was another 10 meters.
10
and I'm like,
metres.
and then the chase would be like way off. I'd be like, oh shit, that don't usually happen.
No.
I can't remember who it was, but someone before the game was saying they could play a bit like the Storm because it's not like Jerome's got a big kick down there either. So
Yeah.
it's sort of very stormy.
Yeah. So
That's what happened. I think that we were used because Cherry's been playing for the last like 10 years, right? You just sort of go, that's the distance. You know, Edwards is probably used to the distance. Toto is used to the distance. And it's like, holy shit. Then, you know what I mean? Like you catch it on contact and it's just, I think that's something that's going to make an adjustment.
If they did it on purpose, it's a really good strategy because when you kick to Dylan Edwards and Brian Toto, those two in particular have been the best for the last 5 years of catching the ball, looking up, ripping straight back in and either getting a quick 10 or 15 metres or exposing you, skipping across the field, finding the lazy defender and then getting a quick play the ball. And then Bizza or Dylan Edwards takes the second and then it's like a 10-metre carry.
And what fucks Dylan, like you can really take Dylan Edwards out of the game if you hit him on when he catches. Bang, boom, out of the way. Even if you just tip him a little bit, even if he tries to escape and that, it just fucking throws him off.
It was the least effective that I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah, it really threw him off. I'm not sure if it was a plan, but I was like, why are we doing that to them? And this just doesn't feel fucking right. You know what I mean? Is this a fucking good tactic or what? But we need to make adjustments for that because even Bizza getting the ball, giving him 10. He's going to find his front. He's going to find his front. Same as Zach, he's going to find his front. But if you catch on it's pretty smart.
All right, here's a smart play as well, and this is a good one from Arjad, and he knows you love this play too, so he's asked you a question specifically, Mace. Lads, check out how perfect the overs line was timed for money off Harry. We used to call that an A in touch footy. Completely exposed the 3-man off a quick play the ball. Love to hear Mace explain why money does that play heaps. So you talk about it a lot with the forwards, Mace, exposing that space at A, B, C defender.
Yeah.
Money did it. What did you see on that specific
Because
play?
of Harry Grant.
Yeah.
Like it's him.
One marker as well.
One marker, just straight away. You can't, it's so hard.
Sorry, quickly.
Yeah.
2 markers, Stefano and Payne both went the same way.
Yeah, but that's Harry Grant looking for those cues. He could have easily went that way. He comes back this way. Everyone has to pour into him. It's bad, very bad market defense, very bad because you've got to get out at Harry. And then he just, because they play so eyes up and Money does that the best, right? When he just would have went bang and then went straight back out.
It's a courageous line.
It is a courageous line, but and he's fucking very strong. People don't understand how strong Money is, but like that was all Harry Grant. And a brave Money. But like, because who was the last guy trying to tackle Money? Was it our left 4?
No, it was left 3.
Left 3.
Jerome.
See? Had no hope.
Because Angus got caught up.
Angus got caught trying to, Harry bought him in because of the markers. So in a perfect world, Payne half steps back or Stefano and then attacks Harry Grant from the inside hip, makes him play, and then
Angus
does stay square. And if he does happen to get on Angus, fucking Harry, and then Luai comes in, but like you can't do that. You're like, that's bad, pretty bad defense, pretty bad communication.
The reason I love it, you can have all the
Fucking
beautiful setup
line.
plays in the world,
That's footy.
but that's footy.
That's proper footy near the line, just going, oh shit, 2 markers are gone the same way. It needs to be outside the 4 men. So Money just would have saw that and just went bang. He would have had a keyword to Harry to say if it's a cold or hotline or whatever they call it down in Melbourne or in there. He's going out like an out ball and then just too good footy. It's just great footy.
As soon as they got one marker or a quick play the ball, Harry got out, even on the try with Kurt Mann.
Who played the ball? Who played that ball?
Kalen. Oh, the one before it?
No, who played the ball just before? Yeah, that's right. I don't know. It was a fucking good run.
Feel like it might have been Mo for some reason.
Yeah.
No, it was Paddy.
Paddy Carrigan?
Yeah, it was Paddy. Paddy
just skinned them both.
By the way, I thought Paddy.
I thought he was great.
The tactics of the second wave with Paddy coming off on the second wave.
Yep.
I thought that worked as well.
And shout out to Mo too.
Yeah.
For standing up. Like he's it was questionable. I was thinking, fuck, like he didn't play like a starter.
You were heavily critical of him
I
in the
just
first
thought,
game.
and then it just worked out, didn't it? But that play the ball was good, but bad detail at marker. Fucking so bad, especially for those 2 guys, Payne Haas and Stefano. That's my biggest critique on Stefano. Stefano was brought down to Melbourne, and they talk a lot about his improvements in defence. Yeah, the numbers offensively weren't great, but Okay.
I put that down to the flow of the game. I thought Spencer's and Max King's numbers looked the same offensively. So it's like it's not like he was so much worse and stood out than anyone else. But if you're brought on to be, and you got to do a lot of work, and you've been down in the Melbourne system, that's a non-negotiable. You've got to make sure you're set at marker.
You know what Harry's like. You've known him for about 8 months.
Yeah.
So he's marker down. You need to I don't know. I can't really remember the player who was in position of the play the ball, who had control of Paddy Carrigan, right? And it's right near the line. It's like you don't even really have you don't have two markers. They just split either side, right? So whoever was going left, whoever had control of Paddy, he's the last guy up, right? So the guy who was second.
Stefano.
So did Stefano have control of him?
No.
The last bit
That's why I was so quick. Stefano didn't get up and get set. No, Payne was sort of just labouring around in the background because Stefano should have had control.
But it's Stefano then, because if he's got ball in that, you've got to rely on him. If you're the other middle, to fucking scan in about half a second to see where the space is, and it just happened too quick.
Yeah.
But that Stefano, you got to hold on fucking longer. It's just little things like that, man.
I guess you never want to change a winning team, but going back to it quickly, there has been chat around Kaelin's. And do you change Kaelin? Because not only defensively missing his mark with a couple of the short kicks, but also kick receptions where he put a couple down, got lucky with one for a penalty, maybe a little bit unlucky at the end there as well. The chat is around Walshy and...
Yeah, fucking hell. He's going to be putting pressure on.
You can't change a winning team, surely, right?
I've never seen it done. Not with the Maroons. I think he's done a good enough job, but if he plays 2 games, I mean, I get with Walshy. We'll get to Walshy soon. Like he's not the guy there to take his spot. Like it's a fucking big game. He's been out injured most of the year. He's safe. KP's safe. I know he's fucked up a couple of little times here and there, but he's due for one, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't played his best, even though in game 2 they still won, but he wasn't outstanding, and a couple of little things that he just doesn't usually fucking miss, little cues that he's missed. I'm like, especially defensively. And I think Billy, obviously the way that Adam O'Brien's coached and everything, and it's embedded up there, Billy has a totally different system.
I think
if you
so.
don't fucking pick it up. Walsh had trouble with that as well. Walsh had a lot of trouble. So it's Billy's system as a 1, right? So if you don't follow suit, and if you can't pick it up that quick, you're in trouble.
I think Billy's structure for fullback is just completely different to what Walsh. Yeah,
and you
Walsh and Kaelin are used to it.
You think most fullbacks and systems would be quite similar, right?
No,
it's not.
No,
it's not. It's his system. It's not even a Melbourne system. It's Billy Slater's system. And that's fucking hard. Trying to learn that because most fullbacks are on the same. Most fullbacks are the same system. Most fullbacks have the same system, have the same sort of stuff, and I'm like, it seems a little bit different because I see a lot of even Walshy when he was playing, he was out of position, he's out and doing different things, and where KP's never really in bad position.
It's not like they're. It looks like they're out of position because they're in my opinion, now watching them over the last couple of years, in order to do the plays that Billy could do, and not to say they don't have great cardio, but what separated Billy from all the other fullbacks was his effort plays and his cardio. Billy was so fit, so he can run in, jam someone today, make a tackle, get involved, sprint out of it, and then also double D and save a tackle in the corner. How many times we talked about it before where he slides in with his boots or with his shoulder badge.
Yep.
And I said, not to say that Kaelin and Walshy aren't fit. I just don't think they're not even close to the fitness levels.
I don't think Walshy's fit. Not compared to, especially now.
Walshy looks in extravagant pain before the game. Did you watch that?
Yeah. He's a tough little prick.
Trying to get through the warm-up just to get warm.
Oh, no, I didn't see the warm-up. No.
He's because he's got his leg taped and the guy comes over, retapes his leg again, and he's wincing in pain.
Oh, wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Did you see it, mate?
Yeah, I saw him. He played tough.
How's this guy going to even play?
He's a tough little prick.
Carves up the whole game.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like when you're talking about fitness levels and that, Billy was at another level. Him and like guys like, even like your Minicellos and fucking like
Teddy
Snakes and Teddies and that.
Teddy and Dill Edwards.
They don't miss.
There we go.
it.
Quickly before I move off it. Perfect example. Teddy and Dylan Edwards would be way better at the Billy Slater system than Kalen and Walshy.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Don't have the flair.
Don't have the flair, but have the conditioning, like
Just non-stop.
What separates Teddy and Dylan Edwards from every other fullback is their conditioning, like the efforts on efforts. And like I said, Kalen's probably the next level down with condition. He's not the fitness because he's got all the silky other little stuff. And Walshy's again, he's probably another level down from Kalen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Okay, sweet.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I know you get it because
I'm
trying to explain it so like maybe the people that are listening and understand it.
Yeah, I think it's a whole. I just think it's a whole nother system.
Yeah.
It's the Billy Slater system.
Speaking of toughness, this one comes from D Rosa. Hey lads, love the pod. I ain't watched it yet.
I just saw it.
I haven't watched it yet.
My suit as well.
But already know it's going to be a banger. Just wanted to ask Willie what it went through his mind when he slipped in front of 57,000 at halftime.
Oh my God.
Kicking the ball up the Blues and the Mighty Levels pod. What about your toughness getting up after that?
Oh my God. It was pissing down rain. It was me and Benny Hannon had to do some fucking thing for the NRL or something like that. And I said, here, catch this. I didn't have footy boots on, obviously. And I just went bang straight on my fucking back. I don't think I've ever done that, ever. Fucking mate, if you're at training or some shit like and I thought I had fucking perfect grip. I didn't kick it that hard. I was very wary.
You're aware of it?
Don't slip, you fuckwit.
Yeah.
Don't slip. Had it, and I just went like bang. Next minute, fucking straight on my fucking ass. Got up, just ran off. I was like, I hope no one saw that.
Yeah, everyone. Break.
All right, here we are, our weekly catch-up with the skipper of the Queensland Maroons, the skipper of the Melbourne. Are you the skipper of the Melbourne Storm? No, Harry's the skipper of the Melbourne Storm. And coming off a huge win, a much-needed win to keep the series alive. This is brought to you by Athlete. Those guys have been awesome for us this year, remember. They are the best in the business for joint and muscle pain relief, which Money is going to need in order to back up for the Melbourne Storm this week. So, Money Man, I'm going to start a little bit different this time. Our man Lukey is currently on the cameras because he has a fan question for you from the man himself.
It's going to be good.
G'day, Money. Big fan, except for 3 Wednesdays a year. No, mate, I wanted to see if you're going to consider growing the moustache back, the Munstache, for Game 3.
Nah, I won't go back for that. Someone actually reached out to me about that.
Yeah, I've got the evidence here, mate.
Oh, you've got the evidence? Yeah, well,
I do.
I haven't won. I've never won Origin Series with a mustache, so, but I've won competitions with the Storm with one, so.
Yeah, you
So,
have.
give Lukey, for people that aren't aware, give him the backstory, really quick version of it. And I believe it's our man Roasty that first brought it to everyone's all social medias. But give him a quick version of the rundown of how the success goes with the moustache from the Money Man.
Yeah, so shout out to Roasty. Back in 27 Money, the debut, no moustache, and you got the win. And that was the series was on the line too. 2018, down 1-0 into Game 2 was a must-win game. You rocked a little bit of stubble in Game 1, and you turn up with a clear stash. 18-14 series loss. So not good there. 2019, 75% of the time that the team wins Game 1, they go on to win the series. No stash in Game 1 with a win, but then you grew it back and then you lost the series there. 2020, no moustache, Wally Lewis medalist and a series win in the worst team ever. 2021, Game 1 with the stash. Game 2 with the stash, both losses. Game 3, moustache, wins the game. And then for most recently, hang on, back to the message with Roasty. 2023, no moustache in 1. 2022, Game 1, man of the match, and went on to win the series. So can you please scroll?
There you go. So Munster in Origin without a moustache, big tick. Munster for the Melbourne Storm, and the stats going with you, where having a moustache is a big tick. So have you had any idea that this has sort of been like a lucky charm for you at all?
Actually, it only just come to me, or someone told me. Like, I think it might have even been Roasty. May have messaged me. It was in my message request, and I kindly just quickly looked at it. I didn't accept it, but I quickly looked at it, and yeah, mate, the stats are crazy. So yeah, I probably that was actually the reason why I shaved it, was because of that reason. Because I know I had the big porn stash for game one, and that was terrible. So
So you shaved it after, or you shaved it after seeing the message.
no, he told me a while back, or
But he
someone's told me a
reminded
while
you.
back, but it reminded me after I obviously hadn't got
Gotcha.
told I was the captain from Billy. And then I thought, you know what, need to clean my image up a little bit. But I thought, where any chance to win a series here, I need to shave the mo.
What about
So
that? What about
don't,
a little bit of superstition?
don't get on me tomorrow, because I'm not wearing a mustache. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to glue something on there for tomorrow.
Maybe it could be a
All
bit
right.
like Blatchy's Blues. You got money's stash.
Oh, that's outstanding. Not a bad strike rate. I'll have to bring it back though, hopefully for the Storm at the back end of the year.
Yeah, you and the Storm, you love a mustache.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right,
That's
mate. Let's
weird.
get
It's
to it.
crazy.
Let's get to a little bit more serious. When
Yeah.
we had a chat to you a couple of weeks ago, you're really disappointed with the result in game one, and I asked you a question. I said, "Money, if there's one thing that you need to do in game two, that you can control," you said you wanted to get your running game back, and I rewatched it this morning. I think you had about 4 or 5 carries in the first 10 minutes. You did that. You got off to a really good start. Talk to us. I want to break it down for people that might not be aware how important that is for not only you specifically, maybe your position of getting a nice early carry in big games and what that does for your psyche to start a game.
Yeah, good question there, Steve. Oh, mate, it's easy. It just gets you involved in the game. I think sometimes I'm in the game, and then sometimes I'm out, and sometimes I float in and out. And I think the more time I'm in the game, obviously it's better for the team. So I just decided to, even though there probably wasn't a whole heap of shape involved, but I feel like Nathan Cleary does it really well. Runs the ball, but he has a lot of options on his outside and inside. So yeah, a lot of halves do that now these days. They obviously have a lot of shape around them to create those wide spaces for themselves to run. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My best strength is running the ball, and I'm strong in contact. So always most likely going to be a running threat. Still got to understand and have a bit more better vision at times, but I just had a clear mindset going into the game, and wanting to run the ball and be a havoc with the ball in hand. And yeah, look, it happened at times, but it also too probably need to somehow find ways of getting my teammates involved as well. So still trying to find an element of that in my game, but yeah, hopefully I can find it very soon.
Do you have any specific ways? Because the two that I play with, I always refer to the two boys. Foz, who does who does the every other week with you, and obviously Ches. I remember Foz used to tell me he wanted to run down a short side. He played like a 4-on-4 shape down there. He'd just dummy, rip in, go himself, get a lick. Ches would sometimes just get in for a scoop to get himself an early touch. Does it matter in which way, in whatever fashion you get it, or do you just want to take a lick so mentally you know that you're amongst it, and then also for the defense, all right, money's here to play.
Yeah, I think when I played my best games, I've got taken the game early. I've ran the ball either the first set, the second set. I think when I haven't had great games, especially the Storm as well, I haven't started or even ran the ball for those 10, 15-minute periods there. And as you know, watching the game scope, like momentum swings are so massive these days. And like I could be in the game and not be in the game for 20, 30 minutes, because of the turnaround and the momentum swing. So I could be defending for 15, 20 minutes of that game, So you want to try and get involved and play the game you want to play and build your game. And sometimes I forgot about that, like I need to build my game and stop worrying about other people getting themselves in the game. I need to make sure I get myself in the game. And I haven't been doing that probably the last couple of months. So I just really took a big emphasis and ownership on being the captain of the Queensland. I need to go there and lead from the front. And that was probably on the ball for me. And obviously make my tackles, but my forefront of my mind was just to run the ball early. And I like to have someone on my inside, options on my outside, and this obviously show dig and get off the left foot. Sometimes skip with the goosey, but yeah, just wanted to obviously get my hands on the ball and be a havoc and create some options for everyone around me. And it worked, but doesn't mean it's going to work in game three. I need to get better and improve.
Yeah, well, for sure. Like we'll get into that a little bit. And maybe in a couple of weeks, because I know we've only got you for a little bit before you get to a massage. It's pretty obvious. I know you've talked about it pretty much all week, but just now you've had 48 hours to reflect on it. Skippering your state for the first time. All the chat around Billy leading into the game, all the emotions. Now that you're removed, I know you've got a big game 3 still ahead of you, but you must be just super proud that you were able to not only lead your state to a win, but also get a Player of the Match award as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I deserve the man of the match scope. I think there's some good players in my team. Probably Catewell comes to mind.
He was
Tommy
awesome,
Dean was
mate.
pretty good. They're both really good. Look, I'm very thankful that I've got the man of the match. I know it's special, and I felt like I played my role. Like I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Like I obviously played a lot better than I did in game 1. I evolved more. But yeah, look, it's a fairy tale ending to such an emotional week. Like you spoke about with Billy, how much slack he's been copping. I backed him up and defended him. Like, as you know, the coach can only do so much. He's a smart footballer, smart coach, smart person around the game. Understands the game really well. So he's given us a template on how to play the footy game. It's just us as a group, like we got to go out there and execute it. Like there's nothing that we haven't done before. Like we've trained really well, both obviously camps, but we obviously showed what we could do in game 1. So game 2 in the first half, and we showed periods where like we've still got a lot to do. Like the second half there. I know they come home strong, but realistically, we had some poor fundamental areas that gave an opportunity to come back, and they probably shouldn't have got as close as they did. But that's just a credit to them, how good they are. They're always in with the fight. Like they're never going to say die attitude with the guys they got in their team. So I was never comfortable, even though we were 26-6 up, but the show really won by 2 points. But I feel like we need to be real like resilient and be mentally stronger than what we dished up in the second half, because we can't do that in Sydney. They'll get more leg ups, not more leg ups, but more obviously crowd behind them. They'll get a bit more energy. So we just need to can't afford to be doing that, And big games, you need to ice those moments. And yeah, there was a couple of times we didn't, but yeah, just happy to lead the team around. So proud of myself and my family. Like, yeah, it's obviously a fairy tale ending. First game, captaining and winning it, but the job's not done, and we need to make sure we have got to be even better again.
100%, mate. And I run into Bianca after the game as well. Just as you going into the sheds, I'm told her how proud we are of you. Everyone at Levels, mate. We're all rooting for you. All the best for your game tomorrow against South Sydney. Big couple of weeks coming up, and we'll chat to you in a couple of weeks, mate, and we'll get ready for game 3, eh?
Thanks, mate. Thank you so much, boys, for having me. All the best. Go to Storm.
See you, mate.
Go ahead and crack it, mate. You want to crack it? Boom. Crack it for your OG Red Bull of the week.
Yes.
That's a good sip too. Are you going to smash the whole can?
I might as well. My OG Red Bull player of the week is, and these are a fair bit of stats. Obviously, what a Wednesday night. And I'm always going to go, this part of the year, guys, I'm always going to go with the guys that back up. Shout out to Katoni Staggs, probably the best game I've ever seen him play for a while.
Awesome fortnight.
What a fucking absolute beast. This is the sort of Katoni Staggs that I love. Not scared of anything. Plays what he sees in front of him. Aggressive. It's a fucking animal, right? He was going to get it. But he's got another big boy there called Payne Haas. I can't fucking rap this guy enough. 65 minutes, well over 200 metres, crucial tackles, 40-plus tackles, no misses. The dude's on an absolute another level. With a quad tear, right? With an apparent quad tear.
What's the injury? We don't know.
What injury? Who knows? He's fucking...
Mace, he was in doubt for Origin 1.
Ridiculous.
And it's reported that he was in doubt for Origin 2. He backed up after both of them and didn't miss any games for the Broncos in between.
No. And the best and a top 3 player on your team. Do you know what I mean? Like, this kid is built of something else. This is someone that... You got to sit there and just look at greatness and just bow down sometimes. I don't give a fuck. I don't give many flowers to these young kids, but I'm looking at him going, he's a probably 1 best prop of all time already. And he's 26 years old, mate. He's got another fucking 7 years of prime. He's going to end up racking up fucking 20 plus Origins and 30 tests and World Cups, Origin wins, this, that, Dally M's, fucking, it's just,
Without being a downer,
going to be ridiculous.
Without being a downer, does Madge have to protect Payne from himself though?
You do have to protect him. After this Origin series, and this is what sucks about the game, right? Because this is how weirdly our game is structured. The Origin on the biggest pedestal, right? But at the end of the day, who butters your bread?
Madge needs to win.
The Brisbane Broncos, and Madge don't give a fuck. That's the problem. You know what I mean? We've heard it from the greats before. He medically retired GI and fucking Sam Burgess. About, you know what I mean? Like, GI was doing exactly the same thing, but at fullback, not taking it nowhere near as much punishment as Payne Haas. Sometimes you've got to take these games away from him, mate.
Okay, so here, the Broncos are currently in 5th position, 6 points out of the top 4. The New Zealand Warriors and the Storm on 24. In the new era, in the NRL era, you have to be in the top 4 to win the competition.
Yeah. Yep.
He needs a rest.
After Origin, yeah.
He needs a rest after. He has to be rested after Origin.
Can we check quick, Luke, who they got? Oh, you've got me?
I got you.
So the 3 games, just say the 2 or 3 games after, hopefully they can keep jagging some games. I think they're on I think they'll go on a little bit of a run right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you've got a guy like Payne Haas who will not even budget the fact if they go, how you feeling, Payne, you want to play? Yes.
Here we go, quickly. Warriors this weekend, so he'll be sweet to play. Round 18 is all the Origin players are missing, so they're not a part of that. So Payne's not going to play in that game. Paddy's not going to play on that game. On the flip side, Critter and the likes.
And there's sorry.
This is the game. Then they play on Sunday, and this is where he's not going to get a rest. They play the Titans on a Sunday, which is a 4-day turnaround post-Origin, and then they got the bye the following week. Yeah. So Madge is going to play him
80 minutes,
and then go, big boy, I'm giving you a whole week off next week.
Don't do anything. And this is.
If they give him 2 weeks off if he gives this game, like it's the Titans.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where they don't
imagine if they drop it against the Titans.
And they're liable to.
This is where the butter gets used.
This is where the butter is, and the bread is out.
This is
There's a lot more butter than bread.
You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it as a rational human.
Yeah.
Madge is not.
Yeah.
Madge wants top 4.
And if they got dusted by the Titans and left out Payne.
And it's not.
And it's on a
thing.
Sunday.
I think, and this is where people probably get a little bit twisted as well. They're like, oh, but you got that week off. You know, you got the week off. You got rested. You're getting rested. You're in Origin camp. There's no rest. You fucking like the training in Origin camp. Obviously, it's not as crazy, but the pressure, the external pressure, the stress. You've been to game 3. It's a decider. It's one of the biggest games you'll play in your whole life. If you've never played in the grand final, game 3 is the second best the most hardest game and stressful game you'll ever play. I think so, right?
Well, you should know.
Yeah, I think so. Just say even like some tests, 4 Nations and that. Yeah, they're up. They're all up there. But at game 3,
go. Give us your ranking. Go.
Oh, grand final is the most stressful because you're just with your boys. Not saying it's going to be the hardest game, right?
Yeah, but stress levels.
But game 3 will be the hardest game you'll ever play because of the fact that it's so equal. Like finals of like a 4 Nations and even the Great Britain tours and everything like that.
Did you play a World Cup final?
Well, World Cups back then were the 4 Nations, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Because there was only 4 Nations playing. So probably like 2 of those, 3 of those. We won 2.
Yeah.
And that's stressful, right? But you're over in England and you're like, you don't really feel it as much as here.
Yeah,
where you're in Sydney. There's fucking everybody on top of you. You're Payne Haas. You're the best of the best. And I just think, the stress levels are high, but you wouldn't want to be anywhere else, but they are very, very high. And there's more expectation. Just say if you are playing in like a grand final because you're just like, fuck, you just don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? It sucks if you lose. Sorry, Hoz. You know what I mean? Like you would have been stressed out going, fuck, if we win, be mad. If we lose, be terrible.
For sure.
I was one playoff being fucking sitting there going, yeah, we lost. We fucking had it. We lost it. You know what I mean? It sucks. But then like the game 3s, in game 3s before in Origin, just lost. You know what I mean? Think you're going to win and then you just lose. It's like, ugh, it's a terrible feeling. You know what I mean? But the ups and downs of rugby league, eh?
The ups
do not
and
miss
the
them.
downs. I'll tell you who knows the ups and downs better than most. Parramatta Eels fans, Lukey.
we sure fucking do.
But we got more ups at the moment, and it's because of Isaiah Yongi, my young buck of the week, my Red Bull young buck of the week is Isaiah Youngie, 21 for 178, 4 tackle breaks and 3 try assists. Those are the offensive stats. Mace, the effort plays. He is a building block for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him play, and the reason I love him even more so is sometimes when young players come in, it's fine. They're in a really good, strong roster. What Jason Riles is doing with this roster currently at Parramatta, this is the best win of the season so far, without Mitch Moses and without Dylan Brown. And Zach was awesome backing up. To your point about players backing up, I thought Zach was awesome. But this Isaiah Youngie kid is special.
He is, isn't he?
And you know why he's special in a different way. It's a different sort of special. It's not like when Walshy first hit the scene, he's coming up with these beautiful plays and double, triple cutouts. And Youngie had a couple of nice try assists. That one over the top was ridiculous. Yeah. But that's not how he builds his game. And you know what? You got to give so much credit to the Penrith junior system as well for developing Isaiah Youngie. Jason Riles, for sure. I don't want to take anything away from what Jason Riles, giving him a proper opportunity to play fullback week in, week out. But when you look at the 2 best young ascending players in the competition, or just say if there's a podium, on the podium, Isaiah Katara and Isaiah Youngie. So it's good to be named Isaiah, by the way. Just figured that out as I was talking about that. Different spelling.
Yo, origin captain.
Isaiah Yo. If you're an Isaiah and you're in the Penrith system, if you're an Isaiah in the Penrith system, you're going to be a gun. Because Isaiah Katoa and Isaiah Youngie are the best 2 young players for me ascending in the competition right now. And they're part of Penrith system who couldn't find a gig.
Unbelievable.
Who couldn't find a gig because they had absolute winners, stars in their positions.
That's unbelievable, like that. When you put it like Katoa and Ayongi in the same system coming through, and obviously fucking shitloads more spread through the NRL. That kid's special, man. Yeah. Everyone was saying, oh, he's got nowhere near it. Like, when I said 2 of us, I said, just look like, look at a film of like 2012, how fucking RTS was built. He wasn't big. He was a winger. Left side wing, right side winger. He's like had footwork and everything like that, strong. I'm just like, give the kid time. He's just going to develop. He just doesn't have that mad sharp left foot. He's got a lot of other things, but
what's my favourite part? You watched the game last night?
His skill set.
What's my favourite part about him? And I know you'll know.
The effort plays. Just he's trying to get to everything. Stopping. Like it's sort of like a different way that Gutho used to do it.
He's got a bit of Gutho about him with his relentlessness. My favourite part.
Competes, mate.
My favourite part. He threw a pick to AKP to the house, and he got on with the job. He didn't let it affect him.
Yeah. No divots.
That brought the game back close. Fuck, he hasn't even played 15 games yet. I would fully understand if he went into his shell and go, all right, I've just got to play really safe now and get a victory. He's got a great attitude, and he's a future star. Yeah. I love him.
I like it. They've got a good one there.
Got a really good one. All right, let's get to the games. Game reviews, kicking it off with Friday night's game, sorry. The one game on Friday night. The Raiders 16 defeat the Tigers 12, Mace.
That was a good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good effort from the Tigers, I thought, in the second half.
Right.
And this is what I wrote down. These are the danger games now for the Raiders. Great starts against teams at the bottom of the ladder on a cold, miserable night in Campbelltown. Dangerous. But in order to win competitions and the best teams that I've played over the years.
Was this in Seatown, was it?
It was in Seatown.
Okay.
You've got to be able to win in multiple ways. Yeah. And the courage that they showed to hang on against a much improved West Tigers team.
Physical.
And a Tigers team that just kept on fighting and kept on fighting.
This physicality, I mean, we'll get to the Tigers, but the physicality of this game. Yeah. Like what the Tigers did, these young fellas, the Fahinu boys were fucking popping everybody.
Terrell May, Fanua Pole.
I liked exactly what I saw. It's great.
Do you know, on the run home, Fletcher's got a nickname for, he calls Fanua Pole South Pole. Seb Chris was killing him early on.
He looks good, man. I think last couple of years when he hit the scene, he hit it pretty hard and he was killing people. Then he few little soft tissue injuries sort of brought him back to the pack, right? Yep. And he couldn't get that space between. Now he's getting an early ball. He's chopping you up inside, outside, right, fucking palm, little flick. He's got a tool bag.
You know the problem that Ricky had 2 years ago? He had too much iron sharpens iron in that bag. Yeah, so they had these were their options, right? a couple of OGs in Jordan Rapiner and Jared Croker, who were legends of the club that deserved a spot at some point in the back line. Those were tough decisions for Sticky.
Yeah.
Then you had the emergence of Sebastian Chris and Matty Timoko around the same time. And then a couple of years after that, you get the KO Weeks, the Xavier Savages, the Albert Hopper Wildys thereabouts. Like they've had all these pieces. Now I feel like they've got their best makeup of players.
This is the best squad they've had for a while.
And there's more, I guess, continuity with this team than they've been able to have in the past as well.
Who was the fullback when we're talking, just say, the grand final that they had in 2019? Who was the fullback?
Was it Raps? No,
Because-
Jack White and 6. Oh, Chance Nickel Klogstad.
Okay.
Yeah. Chansey. Yeah.
So they had some decent players there, didn't they? So now you got a back five there that could match anybody.
Anybody.
That's the halfback, great kicking game, good leveler, 5'8", you know, the 5'8" there, Strange, can carve you up, good little left foot, great defender. The back five, they got a team.
Whole new back five. If you go, obviously that's wild. That
Yeah, let's
final,
wait.
everyone-
Let me have a go. So Chance, fullback. It's not too far.
Raps,
On the wing.
Jack White in left centre,
No,
No,
Jack
5'8".
White was 6.
6.
Yeah.
Jared Kroger.
Yep. That's your centre. You got.
And the right side centre was Joey Leilua.
Yep.
That's it, isn't it? Who are you looking
we
at?
need a,
Other
we need a
winger?
winger and we need a half.
Nick Kotrick.
Nick Kotrick and Caesar salad.
Caesar was
Yeah, Caesar salad.
yeah.
Yeah, Caesar salad. What a chat! Like that was 2019. Yeah, 6 years. That's a long time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they were all fucking playing good football. Joey Leilua got like 3, Dally M Centre of the Years down there.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That what was the nickname for Leilua and Rapina? Lapina?
Lapina.
That was their nickname. They were a fucking
they
problem.
Had a good squad, man.
They were a problem.
Fucking aggressive, eh?
Yeah.
Raiders are good. I like watching them play. I like watching the Tigers play.
So cool story. So you'll love this, Mace. Did you hear about how Jed Stewart was told about his debut? So Sticky's son, Jed Stewart, made his debut on the weekend. By the way, he's got a bit of Geordie Atkins about him. Jed Stewart, just a big labouring winger that gets through his works, and he's not the quickest, but he's good in the air. And he reminded me of Jordan. I reckon you'd beat Jed Stewart over 40. So Sticky said it was probably the most emotional week that he's ever had as a coach, and he was contemplating it and he didn't know whether it was the right decision. Joseph Tarpany, Hudson Young sat down with Sticky and told him it's time.
Yeah.
Jed Stewart's next up and took the pressure off Sticky for making the decision. Yeah. And then Sticky then said to Tarps, will you make the call? Will you call Jed and let him know for his debut? And Tarp said after the game, it's probably the most nervous he's ever been to make a phone call to someone. And it just shows it's all. I knew you'd love it. And this is why I watch Presses, mate, as well, because you get really good nuggets like this as well. And you could see Ricky was trying to hold back the emotion as well. Yeah. But it shows the love and the care he has for his playing group and the runs on the board his senior players have in Hudson, in Tarps, in making the call and telling Stick that he's ready for such a huge decision, because it's a tough one for Sticks.
Yeah, and Stick is we said, like he's very, very emotional, right? And for for him to make that phone call to his son, probably couldn't have held it back. Couldn't have held it back.
Yeah,
so
he didn't. So let me add to it. Let me add to it.
Can you? Yeah,
let me add to it.
Please call him.
So Tarps calls Jed. Jed calls his mum first straight away, and then he goes into the coach's room. Stick starts breaking down straight away,
and so he should.
Yeah,
that's how much it means to me, mate. He's done well.
Imagine being able to debut your son. Fuck.
One of the proudest moments. Be your proudest moment. Yeah. If you ask Ricky Stewart in 5 years, it would be his proudest moment. He's done this. He's a guy that has done everything in the game. Yep. And he gets to debut his son. So well done, Jed. Well done on the Stewart family. What a great moment, and they get the win as well. So, and he didn't look out of place.
No, he didn't. He held his own.
He was hustling everywhere. He was on everything. He was just did all the little things right. He's fucking tough. Going to come out and play. Gone are the days when wingers are just like, they used to just hang out with footy players. That's a very big integral part of your fucking team now.
Big time.
You need some, even because he's a tall body, but he's strong. He can handle his own. He found his front a fair few times, most of the time. And the Tigers were up. They were up for it.
Just quickly before we move off Tarps, I want to give him a huge shout out. I reckon Sadiq, he is. So they're on the ladder. What's the position? So outright second on 26 points. Yeah. I honestly believe if Joseph Tapine doesn't play his second stint in both the Warriors game and this game, they lose. So they're sitting in 22 points.
You're right. No, you're right. Because he started the game off and goes, there you go, boys.
Yeah.
Got you the try, set the ascendancy. Him and Big Papa are outstanding.
Awesome.
Backfire was into it. Everybody was into it. And then it was just like, Tigers just didn't fuck off. They just kept hanging around. I was like, and that's a great sign for those guys. Like to even be 16-12 with the Raiders at this time of the year is showing me that the Tigers they're ascending.
It's frustrating, but there's signs. There's great signs.
What's going to fucking happen, right? Yeah. These Raiders have been together for what? At least some of them
5 years.
5 years minimum. You know, you got a brand new squad there, Benji. Keep that nucleus right there, right?
Someone, when I was doing radio, there's a couple of people that are asking, and I'm gathering that they're Levels fans because they specifically call for me on the text line about Benji. I really want to see Benji given this full year. I wanted to see what he's able to do post like
5 years.
Like that's just unrealistic if you're not getting results, mate. Even though
I'm just thinking he's going to get results.
Yeah, I want Benji to get through this year. I want the Tigers to have a good year. I want them to try to figure out what their plans are long term outside of the Lachlan Galvin situation. The Latu Fainu is a win-win for me. He's either the six of the future for him because he looks like he's got some. I think actually Latu might be more suited to play in the 7 and Jerome plays 6.
Yeah.
Or worst case scenario. He's a fucking gun 14 too. So he could play that Kurt Mann, Dylan Walker role off the bench for Tigers.
He's so thick set too. It's not like they're going to, even if you put him at 9 or 4, as I said, 14, just come on ball play and everything like that.
He's starting lock.
He was banging. He was, no one was running through that kid, man.
He just needs to get his conditioning up.
That's it.
Yep.
Just be week in, week out first grader for the next couple of years. And so this is Benji's 3rd year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, second.
Second. You sure?
Yeah, second.
Because it's the overlapping.
Yeah.
It was the start of last season, all the golf shit. And
yes.
that was before the season even started.
So his third year, he was assistant coach with Tim Sheens. Yeah, Tim Sheens took
5 full first years.
Yeah, yeah.
So next year will be 3rd year.
Yeah,
you'd expect him to get to the 8.
That's the year.
Anyway,
that's his big prove it year.
Yep.
Because I like some of the stuff that they're building here. I thought South Pole was huge off the bench. He provided a second wave, but he's a starter for him. Yeah. He's too good. Yep. The priority for 2026 for me, and it helps with the signing of Kai Pearce-Paul, he'll go straight to the right edge. Seyfarth will be able to go back to that middle role or bench role and create.
It's good signing, it.
But they've got a strong sort of 1 to 20. They need 20 to 25.
Yeah,
that's what they're missing.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they've got a shitload of juniors coming through, like they always do. They've always got someone. They just need to cultivate and just keep them there. Because obviously you see some rumours that De Silva, this, that, they're trying to let them go. Oh, fuck, mate, you spent 5 years developing these young kids. Don't let them go right now when they're trying to strike.
Well, you try to get a swap for them.
Yeah, or something.
So they need middles. They need middles. So if you're not going to play De Silva because Appy can play 80 and you've also got that other young kid that was a good story at the start of the year
Someone
as well.
was saying, Appy's old. Oh, fucking hell, he's Fijian. Could be 22.
He's got another couple of good years in him.
Appy's playing his best football he's played for fucking since Penrith.
Yep. So if you're not going to play De Silva because De Silva sat on the bench and didn't get on, then swap him and try get a middle back. Try get a middle from somewhere.
Just a little like a hybrid. Like you don't have to these genuine 9s like De Silva. They want game time, right? Because they can't play anywhere else. So it sucks for him. But that's why you get these little hybrids like you Kurt Manns and who can play 9, who can play 13, who can play all that. That's the go now.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you can't have a genuine 9 sitting on the bench, can't play 7, can't play 13, can't play anywhere else. You're just a starter. Well, you just got to prove that you're a starter. The end.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. The end. Panthers 28 defeat the Warriors 18. Accountability Mondays, Mace.
What?
Accountability Mondays. This is my turn. You've taken accountability on a couple of takes. This game fucked me.
Did it?
This is when I went the early crow on the Panthers not making the 8.
Yeah, same. I'm there.
But I went early. I went way too early. And I'm thinking about it as I'm watching both the game on Saturday and the game for the Roosters with all their young development players just absolutely killing it when I've questioned that. And I was thinking about it during the Roosters game yesterday and I was like, And mind you, I'm not watching the full proper game because, like I said, I was doing radio and we had it on in the background, and you could sort of you got to hold the conversation while you're also watching it out of one eye. And I seen these young players emerging, and I was thinking, in hindsight, the reason I've got these two teams wrong is they've been up the top for so long, and I've expected a drop off, but I'm stupid in not realizing that winning it starts in the front office, and these two teams now and franchises have had stability and leadership at the top that's filtered down to top tier coaches, and they're going through testing times as a club in sort of mini rebuilds in different ways. Yep. But when you got good leadership, it really doesn't matter as much what your roster is like because there's going to be buy-in from those rosters.
It should be. I mean, like,
and what the Panthers did, the Panthers did to the Warriors over there with 6 Origin players out. I'm just watching it going, you're an idiot.
Bullshit.
I'm an
idiot. No one would have backed the Panthers. Surely not. It would have been a chance if they had all their players. If they had all their players backing up,
I still might have tipped the Warriors.
Yeah,
I still might have tipped the Warriors.
But not with that fucking Sorensen and Leota, and they just all follow. This scares me now. This team scares me.
It's a 4-point win. So what you do now is, right, they go over and get this fucking mad victory. All Yowie, Dill Edwards, Liam Martin, Nathan Cleary, Bizza, and we missing anyone?
Critter?
No, Critter's at the Bulldogs. So he'll be watching it for a different way. He'll be watching it through a different lens. So those 5 are watching that going, the boys have gone and got the job done for us.
Capewell.
Yeah, Capewell was for the Warriors, yep. Now we have to front load all our energy into the Bulldogs on Thursday night at CommBank. That is going to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the review, remember?
Yeah, but even more so now because
we just never would have thought this.
Because those 5 players that set out going, the New South Wales Cup boys have rewarded us here. Now it's up to us to go and get the Bulldogs. Like now it's on the big dogs.
Oh, it's going to be
That's the mentality. That's the mentality of the players coming back.
What a great club.
They're so
sensational.
They're so impressive.
I just watched Leota just say, fuck, I love Fish, just taking the kick off. Give it in. Fucking 3 blokes hit him. He just laughed. And they just kept going at it. It was just like, are these guys going to win? You know what the worst thing was? Because I knew the fucking score.
Right?
Oh,
did you?
So then and most seasons I did know the score because I had a few things on during those days. And I just went, how the fuck did these guys win? And then even for the next game, like the Broncos and Sharks went, then you watch that game and go, how did the fucking Sharks lose this game? Like it's impossible. But this game here was just pure grit and just systematic, hardcore football, smash mouth football, playing against those blokes, the Warriors who are up for this game.
Yep, agreed.
And I do believe the Metcalf injury really fucked him. And he's a tough little prick, and he stayed out there. But if that try that I think Tamari, the 5'8" scored, and he danced around, and Blaze Talani scored.
Yeah,
he could have got him if he was fully fit.
I didn't see what happened to Metcalf.
I think it was his hamstring.
Yep,
and he just couldn't get out. He couldn't go.
Oh, I missed that.
If he was full strength, I swear to God, he gets him easy. And that was that nearly game over then.
Oh, wow.
Blaze score. Have a look. Just have a look.
Yeah.
He couldn't. It was a great play from Penrith, but just because he couldn't turn like he usually could.
Do you think he's carrying something?
Yeah, no, he did. He was. He shouldn't have played the last 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
He was fucked.
Yeah, okay. Fuck, I called that game when you see it.
His hamstring or something was like proper gone.
Yeah.
And he stayed out there. He was kicking. He was doing everything. It was detrimental to his own health, but just staying out there trying to get that win, and that's that culture that they're building out there. But yeah, I swear, he would have been. It would have been.
No. Also, I want to give credit to Leota, Papali'i, Sorensen again comes up with huge moments, and our man Milky
Jenkins.
What about the pick?
Give him fucking an upgrade, something.
Milky's getting a contract.
Oh my God.
Hey, Milky's gone a long way to getting himself
a 3-year deal,
giving himself the opportunity to be the opposite to Brian Toto for a couple of years.
What he's
going to get it. Like you can get Milky Jenkins for about 300, 350, and that's a great price.
He's on matches now.
He'd be on matches,
You know what
100%.
I mean?
He's on 3,000 a game or something.
Give him an oak third party.
Yeah.
He deserves it to be sponsored by Vanilla Oak or Strawberry Oak.
Strawberry.
Strawberry,
100%
like he has been nothing but outstanding for Panthers with this little bit of a resurgence. Having a bloke like that who was willing to play Ron Massey Cup, now he's on your wing, got Alamotti out of the team, got all these superstars out of the team for just absolute grit. What an animal. I love him.
Business missed heaps of games. Dills missed some games. Nathan's been in and out. Blaze Talangi was their big time signing from Parramatta. Milky Jenkins has been their most consistent all year.
He's doing things that you're like, he ain't an average footballer. He's got
veteran moves.
He's got like game. He's proper game.
Game awareness.
He ain't just a dude who's just like,
no.
Yeah, whatever. He only left Penrith because he thought because he's behind the best fucking team of all time, right?
Yeah.
And a good best couple of wingers. He's like, I'll go to Newcastle. Obviously didn't suit the way that he was playing. Swallow my pride, all right, didn't work out, come back down and do what he's doing now is nothing short of just fucking unbelievable. Well done, Milky Jenkins, you fucking weapon. Love him.
Obviously, the reshuffle for the Warriors didn't help as well. Murata going off, Nick Gorda, nice and early. Broken nose.
Crucial positions that happened. When I watched the whole game, I was like, because I knew who won, I could see things. I was like, if he's injured, they're battered on that edge. Their back rows are outstanding. Leka Hamasima and Laban, outstanding. Even the young kid that comes off the bench, outstanding.
Vaimwana?
But a couple of their big dogs were just down.
Via Melnger, I think. I keep saying Mwanga. I think it's via Melnger. Yeah.
Via Myonga.
And especially when you don't have Kurt Capewell, he's their swingman.
He's the guy, yeah.
So he could have fixed a lot of, cause they had to move Adam Pompey from the centre to the wing, and then they put Tamate Martin to left centre.
A lot of reshuffling.
Yeah.
Because if you watch it back, you're just like, I can see how they lost. And then the Metcalf injury.
Yep. Okay, so I didn't even notice the Metcalf injury.
Yeah, because he's a tough little fucker.
We'll see if he ends up playing this week. We'll watch for that. All right, the Knights 26 defeat the Dolphins 20. Dom Young got his swag back immediately. Immediately, he looks happy
Where
again.
have I been?
And the reason I bring that up is so many players, and I was one as well. It's a certain level of confidence that a lot of players need to play with, and then if you feel like you've got belief in the system and the coaches that have, and for whatever reason, Adam O'Brien didn't have that with Milky Jenkins, but he's got that with Dom Young, and Dom Young feels the love.
Yeah.
And Dom Young loves playing for Newcastle.
Yeah, you can see it. It helps with Bradman Best back.
Yep.
It does, because they've been missing him for a while. He's just got that fucking X factor. He can just hit you with defense. He can add a lot of things, but Dom Young just looks like it was 2023.
He had
2024.
Looked like he hadn't even left the system. Like straight back in.
Loved it,
even when how you're critical of him drifting across field. He drifts across field, tips on, someone hits a gap, like fucking it's all the shit that you're critical of him at the Roosters, he was actually doing it and it was working.
It's weird. He goes, well, I just went to the Roosters and went, fuck it, I'm not playing. I just want to go down to Bondi and just fuck around.
Bradman Best, I think the thing with Bradman Best having him back is it opens it up for Gags and Dom on that edge as well, because you've got to add that extra number. And Dylan Lucas was just becoming a batting ramp.
Yeah.
It was similar to what Olakau'atu was like at Manly, where they just go throw it to Lucas and go do something.
Yep.
Now when you have Bradman Best, it just opens it up for Lucas, for KP. And
more one-on-ones. They look a lot better. They look so much better in attack, right? They just need probably one more bigger body. Leo Thompson probably get back from suspension in a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
I think he's back this week.
Is he?
Leo?
Maybe 4. Was that 4 weeks?
Was it 4 weeks? Was it?
4 weeks.
Oh, yuck.
Fucking 4.
Oh, yeah, because he had loading.
If you get one of those big boys back, not sure if you're going to get Jacob back. No.
I was speaking to we did it with Adam Blair. He does the pathways at Newcastle. He's been training with him. He's going to be back in a couple of weeks.
Fuck, they can make a bit of a run.
Yeah.
Now they look all right. Like the halves didn't look too bad.
Crossland at 13, Brayley at 9.
I like Crossland at 13. I was saying because it looked, even though they say Crossland beat him out to be the 9 because Brayley was busted, right? He's not a genuine 9. Like Crossland is a 7.
So there's chat about De Silva to 9. There's chat that the Knights are chasing De Silva.
Should be 13 because he's got the skill set of a fucking 7, right?
Yeah.
So he knows how to ball play. He knows how to get a little bit, because you know how important it is to have a great 13 who can actually ball play, take pressure off. Yeah, to take pressure off the 7s if you're not doing that much work. Right? So he can play that. I always thought he was a better 13 than he was 9. I thought Brayley is a natural 9.
They made 100 tackles between them. They both played 80.
Fucking yuck. I think because they had Adam Elliott there, they had a few other guys that were doing some really good work for him. So Crossland was working his ass off to be 9. So they made this little battle out of Crossland and Brayley, like to go head to head. And then Brayley got injured. Crossland wins the battle, and they go on that 10 fucking game little winning streak, and they've been hanging their hat on that since. You know what I mean? But like Crossland is a 13.
All right.
He's a 7 and because he was a natural 7. He's put on about fucking 7 to 8 kilos and he can play lock.
Yeah.
So he can dig into the line. He can make 50 tackles. 3 years ago he couldn't.
It did help they were playing a small pack in the Dolphins as well, though. Dolphins, no Felice, no Flegler, no Gilbert, no Daniel Saifidi. So it was like a smaller pack with Keeley, Donahue, who ended up going out in the centres. Who else played in the front row? Mark Nichols and that. Like good, bigger props, but not like, I think that's what.
I don't know. What happened to him? What do you reckon happened to the Dolphins? Like compared to what happened, what they've been dishing out for the last 3 or 4 weeks? I mean, smoking sides.
Yeah, a bit of a trap that they had sort of won in that fashion. Now, like you don't want to not win in that fashion, but like when you actually do get a punch back in the face, how you react to it, I think it's a good learning curve for this young Dolphins team. And yeah, the Dolphins team are a year away. They need to get all their middles back. Felice not missing. He was their enforcer through the middle. He's the one that would shoot out of the line and whack a Phoenix Crossland if he's trying to ball play. Yeah. And then Phoenix Crossland doesn't take it to the line as much.
Yeah, you can dig in.
Yeah.
You don't dig in when your ribs are going to get smacked.
Yep. So
he's that fear factor. So they did miss a couple of those blokes there. So when they get that full, they are a year off. When they get that full deck of cards there with the Flegler and the Kafusis and everybody like that, and they got a great pack.
Fuck, they hit hard.
Yeah. Stone and Donahue and all those blokes will be fighting to come off the bench and just to rip your ribs apart.
Donahue's a starter now.
Yeah.
Donahue's a starter.
Hard to beat. They're about, I reckon next year
actually,
sounds good.
how do you fit Donahue, Max Plath and Tom Gilbert all in the same team?
Hard.
And Finay Fuiaki and Keely's looking good. My favourite part of the game, again, did I put it down? There we go. I'll read it down. This is the feel. This is why I like Atkins as well.
Yeah.
Oren Keeley doing the shit that frustrates, and this is not an attack on Oren Keeley. This is just what NRL players do in the modern game. Lying down on the ground, trying to get a penalty.
Yeah.
Pretending that he's fucking disoriented, that he was looking for a penalty. Wasn't a high tackle. Grant Atkins not buying it. And this is why Grant Atkins and Adam G have a better feel as referees. They're able to read when players are full of shit. Get up, play the ball. Actually, in fact, he made him get off the mark and goes, if you're down on the ground, go and have 15 minutes, HIA.
I love that.
I was screaming at the fucking, yes! I was more pumped up than that in a try or a big play because it was like, I'm sick of seeing that shit from multiple players. And again, not having a crack at you,
No,
Keely.
but like it's just like they just need to understand the play, watch the play. If they see it, and then they'll understand. If it's a direct hit to the head, we get it. But if it's a little...
You know what I love about Atkins as well? So it goes up, he has a look at it. Yeah, and I love that. Atkins goes, Keely, go play it there, go have 15 minutes. It cost him. Oren Keely he's been killing it for him. They end up losing the game. So now hopefully players will be watching that going, all these ticky-tack ones around the face, around the neck. You might not do it.
Can't do it.
Also, Isaiah Katoa has been mentioned for Game 3 if Cleary is in fact out. Him and Metcalf go down as faves. Who would you take?
Katoa.
So here are the names. So if no Nathan Cleary, obviously Jerome 7, so you could go straight swap Jerome 7, Matty Burton 6, or Katoa at 7, Luke Metcalf at 7, Adam Reynolds at 7, Nico Hines at 7.
Yeah, right. Jeez, depends what you want, right?
It's got to be Luan Burton, right? Both left foot?
Fuck.
Both left side players?
Is Cleary a fucking proper... He might be out.
Apparently, yeah, he's no good. Apparently, his groin's in a bad way.
Joe was saying he alluded to being
I'd fucking rather Katoa.
Let's save it for Thursday.
We'll save it for Thursday. We'll see what happens. We've got 15 minutes left. Storm 25 defeat the Rabbitohs 24. Don't want to take credit away from what South did, but this was sloppy as hell from the Melbourne Storm. 14 errors, and 10 of them felt like they were enforced. Here's my problem with Farlongo and Pappy together. They're two east-west. When they're missing Warbrick and Coates on play twos, it's really evident that they go sideline to sideline way more. And I feel like maybe even Pappy and Hughes are carrying injuries at the moment as well.
Yep. It's a great assessment, but I just love the fact that AJ scored fucking 4 tries. I was just, if you're not cheering for AJ to fucking keep getting a couple of doubles here, and then you get a 4-bagger, and Latrell Mitchell playing like that, Get fucked.
7 off the record. Here's the schedule. Let's go through it.
Yes,
when does he
come
get it done? Next game against the Dolphins.
No.
He's got to as in does he got to try there?
He's got to try in every game.
He's got to try. He's got to try against the Dolphins. Manly the following week, but without Latrell, but may get Cody Walker back. Cody Walker could be back this week. 1,
Yeah, he's got 1.
maybe 2 against Manly.
Yeah.
especially if Sabi's defending him. Boy,
Love you, Sabi.
love you, Sabi. Then he's got the Sharks, which is a home game, so he needs 7, right?
Might not get
That's
one.
a tough game. He's got a bad record against Cronulla.
Might not get one. He needs Trell.
So then, but yeah, Troll's back for that
Yeah.
game. Troll's
Yeah.
back for that game.
He might just get a scrappy one. Like, he just like...
Well, it's in the areas where he can get past
He
the
can
ball over
fucking
the
just
line,
score.
like Herbie Farnworth did the week.
No, you don't do that. Not to break a record. That'd be shit. You want to do
He
it.
just gets mad try. Like, he's just a little... He's got that... Obviously, he scored 200 fucking something tries. You can find the line. And it's just... You just got to put it near... Just put it near him.
Yeah.
And he's... Because people underestimate him. Everyone just... Oh, he just puts it down. He's one of the best finishers. Like, he just gets near it all the time. Those balls from Latrell that he was throwing... Fuck.
So following week, just say he's on 2 there. The Broncos, he can get 2 against the Broncos.
Yeah.
They're a leaky defense at times. The Broncos are happy to win a game 36 to
Yeah, it wouldn't
34.
matter. He could get 3.
Then the Titans. That could be the game. I think he gets it done. I think he gets a hat-trick against the Titans. And that's the record.
Yeah.
Following game, Eels at Allianz. Keon again,
you would not be
talking about
fucking happy.
Keon. And the part about Latrell in this game as well. Fuck, I love watch it. I don't know if you watch this game closely. When he kick returns, he's the opposite of other players. He goes at big boys. Do you notice that?
No, I know that's because it's fucking. He knows.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's an alpha move.
It's an alpha move. He runs
Yeah.
at the biggest boy, but one of those runs, I've never seen him fucking run harder. Who did he run at?
Stefano.
Was it straight at Stefano?
Yeah, straight into his chest.
Far
Yeah.
out, man. Yeah, and that just sends a message to
Yeah.
all his other forwards. Look what I'm doing, even though I'm bigger than you. You do the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to inspire his team.
He's been
was
playing
outstanding.
awesome.
He's outstanding.
He's
man.
been playing awesome.
Jeez.
Broncos 234 defeat the Sharks 28. It's obviously 34.
How did they? As I said, knew the score before I watched it. Then watched the game. I went, Sharks are going to pump these dudes. Easy. They should. And then I was like, how did they get back? Is this a good Broncos team? A resilient Broncos team? Or is this a Sharks team that could just don't know how to win?
The Broncos are coming. The Sharks don't know how to win. The Sharks are down on confidence. The Sharks look like they lack leadership when times get tough. They're feeling like a bit of a front runner, and a lot of teams are like that. But the Broncos, I think they're Ben Hunt away.
Yeah? Okay.
I think they're Ben Hunt away. Corey Pakes and Billy Walters have been playing well, but if Hunty comes back and plays 9 at the level that we know he's capable of and playing at an Origin
agree.
level every now and again, like he doesn't even need to play, he doesn't need to be at Origin 9 week in, week out because they've got so much talent. But if Hunty comes back in and chips in for a couple of big performances at the back end of the season, they're the danger team.
Key to the Broncos side is Walshy because he can affect the team when he's out of form because of his body language and the way that he talks and everything. Like I see him just like start blowing up, and after and then when he's winning, like.
But on the flip side,
when he's winning, he's doing that. But like sometimes I think they scored a try and he's ripping into the middles and shit like that, and I'm like, dude, you're a fullback, just don't talk.
really?
Yeah, I just don't like if you're doing shit like kicking the ball, right, and you kick it dead and you're gonna have to defend and you do have to do this or all these little things. If you're Billy Slater and you're doing everything fucking just primo,
Okay, that's fair.
and
That
you're
was
not
gonna be
making-
my-
and you're not making mistakes.
That was gonna be my argument.
Rip in whatever you want, but I
Yep.
saw him when there was like a couple of his mistakes got him down there and they ended up scoring a try, and I'm like,
Erratic kicks.
relax, buddy.
Okay, gotcha.
From middle was just like chill. You just fucking get a 6 to go and catch the ball in the full and score tries for us, right?
See,
just like.
you answered it straight away. I was
Yeah.
going to say you don't like the passion though of a
Yeah,
guy
I
like
the
Billy
passion that
Slater.
that's what I'm saying, but it can fucking go
Gotcha.
each way. If you're a middle, you're like, shut up, kid, mate. Like you just fucking do you.
Okay.
You're the fucking best player on our team.
Yep.
Just do you.
Well, we did that in the second half.
Yeah, he's got it all. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. But I looked at both sides. I'm like, fuck, he can just if he can find an even keel right there.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like he's in the game, right? And like I'm not saying he's like the most respected person in his team, right? You know, like just say if Adam Reynolds is ripping into your middles, I get it. Adam Reynolds is in the front line.
Gotcha, because he's got the runs on the
He's got
board.
the runs on the board, a 300 game, a premiership winner, origin player, all this sort of shit. Or fucking Payne Haas is holding court, ripping into every single person on there.
I'd love to see more of that.
I would love to see more than that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, sweet. But I can't just the fullbacks and the young kids and that just pipe down a little bit, mate.
Okay.
Because you got to earn that sort of stuff. But he was fucking outstanding. Outstanding. But like find the even keel right in between them all where people go, okay, sweet. And it's made constructed because he's blow. He just looks like he's
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Like, dude, relax.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I've got to maybe go and watch it back. The part that I love about it for him, and one, it shows that he cares, but also he seems to be, for whatever reason, the most vocal player in their team.
Yeah.
Even Adam, even at times when things aren't going, you see Ren's a different type of sulking. Yeah. He looks like he'll just like, fuck these cunts, they're not listening to me, you know, sort of, and goes into a shell.
He's passionate.
So there's pros and cons to it,
No,
right?
it is. It's passionate, but it's what he's saying, how he says it, when he says it.
Gotcha.
Right, that's all it is. That's all it is. Love
Perfect.
the passion. Just understand.
Perfect. The Sharks,
that's just maturity.
super disappointing. I thought Nikota and Teague Wilton were absolutely killing them all.
Fucking 300 line breaks.
They were killing them early on. Wilton went off at the 25-minute mark. He's proven to be a really influential player for him. So the remember at the start of the year when he missed a bunch of games as well, and
they looked average.
They looked average. What it provides is when you got Nikita on one edge and Wilton on the other edge, it gives them options.
Yeah.
When Wilton went off, they brought on Calhoun, nowhere near the punch that Wilton has, and then you know, while she can't set the numbers defensively.
Broncos, like they defend real good, they hustle really good, but they have some really bad reads. Like Katoni, really bad reads, like turn his shoulders out. That's just ball players, cue, boom, boom, hit short, you know what I mean? Like on the other side with Ezra Mam, just too keen to fucking come in and jam when you should just sit back. You know what I mean? Like little things like that where it's not bad defend, it's just like bad reads. Like you run it, Ezra Mam, he's going to put you on your back. But sometimes it's too keen, right? And just wants to smash you where he just has to wait a little bit, back his pace when they got those numbers on the edge. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Just chill a little bit.
Yeah.
You're making him pass the ball to Nikita, who's just going to fucking make a line break.
So what they did is they targeted fucking Big Toby the Dolph straight into him.
Yeah.
Big bumpers.
Yeah.
And then once he
loved it.
Loved it.
Still too busy in that tackle going, And then, oh, fuck, the next play.
Yeah.
I love the energy. I love the energy.
We've got 2 games left. Do we want to do the recap properly on Thursday? I know it sucks.
They're pretty fucking...
Yeah. Apologies for the Roosters, Cowboys, and the Eels, Titans. We had Isaiah Yongi as our player of my Red Bull Young Bucks. Go and look at that about a little bit of the review on the Eels. But we'll continue the last 2 games on Thursday for the preview.
Yeah, it's only the Roosters. Yeah, it's only 2 games.
Unfortunately, we just run out of time. We have a studio. We have a certain amount of time. So we'll continue that on Thursday.
See you Thursday.